Hey, everybody. Guess who's back? I can't believe I've been back like this. That's how I know I'm getting back to myself. Yeah, because I feel my energy coming back. I feel my focus coming back. I feel me coming back. So I'm just thankful to God for that because, ooh, I feel like I was going through it. I really was. That shoulder, oh, that's the worst thing. You think knees are bad? You think any other joint? No, your shoulder, oh Lord, it just mess up everything. You can't sleep, you can't sit up, you can't lay down. So I'm just so thankful to God that I'm feeling better. I'm thankful to God. I'm on my way back to work. I miss my school. I miss my kids. I miss what I do. They miss me. Do you know they call me? They call me and tell me what's going on in the classroom. When they get into it with each other, they'll call me and tell me so and so messing with me. And then I have to get them together. So, and I didn't even tell them I'm coming. Like I'm gonna surprise them. So they're just gonna come in and they're gonna see me. So I'm just so thankful for that. Like being away that long, it gives you a chance to step back and look at your life, and look at the things that really matter to you. And those are the things that really matter to me. And my YouTube friends, like y'all helped me get through the whole surgery thing because it was crazy. You guys helped me prepare for the surgery. You guys helped me got through the surgery. When especially Bantu Lisa, when she was coming on the show, y'all wouldn't believe how messed up I was then. I could barely even talk. So I was so thankful for her that she was willing to come on and make those videos and share her experience to keep us going because I was out of it, and the medication I was on was so strong that I couldn't even think straight. And that's how this story got behind me, because this came out in December. In December, I was still not myself. I was still on, heavy doses of medication. So today, let me back up. Let me introduce myself. My name is Kiki Loves Nigeria, and I am the host of this show. And on this show, we talk about anything and everything that impacts you, visiting Africa, repatriating, investing, whatever has to do with Africa, we talk about it. So we got to talk about immigration, because immigration is a big deal, and immigration is really impacting us right now in real time. So everything I do on this channel is for fair use. It falls under the Copyright Act of 1976, section, I think it's section 550, that states that I can use copyrighted material to educate, to research, and for public commentary, and to bring awareness. And that's what I'm doing. I'm using other information to bring awareness, other people's videos to bring awareness to this big, massive immigration stuff that's going on, and we're just being parties to it. We're just stuck in the middle. And what can you do? So a lot of people don't even understand the policies. A lot of people don't understand what's going on, because on the surface, when you look and see all those West African countries on there, you'll think, oh, it's just because it's West Africa. No, there's legitimate reasons why this policy, the U.S. policy, was enacted. Okay, well, the pause, let's say the pause was enacted. Ghana, I'm not really sure why they did what they did, but we're going to talk about that also, because it impacts poor Kenza. And y'all know I ain't call her no passport granny. I just put a picture of her, and because I feel sorry for her. I'm not joking about her. She I ain't got granny in the title. It's just it's messed up for her because I feel sorry. I told you I feel sorry for Kenza at the end of the day. I really do. Because she's invested everything she has. Everything she had. How you invest everything you have, and then you got the nerve to come back and ask me for more. So Those are the two policies we're talking about tonight. We're talking about the U.S. pause on immigrant visa pause, the immigrant visa pause. That's the main one. That's the one you're to bring your spouse here, your family here. That's a big deal. So that one is a pause on that one, right? Also, we're talking about the Ghanaian citizenship changes. Okay, what changes they made on this application to become a Ghanaian citizen. All right, because they made some hefty changes. They made some changes that are just unbelievable. So we're going to talk about that, and we're going to talk about what does that mean? What does that mean to me, a U.S. citizen who's married to a Gambian? What does that mean? You know, what does that mean? What does that mean for us? What does that mean for our future? What does that mean for Kenza? What does it mean for her future? You know, she has to keep paying and paying and paying and paying. Every year she got to pay and pay and pay. And even if she does get some kind of disability check, some kind of retirement check, that stuff don't go up by thousands. That goes up by a little bit. She don't have money to keep on. She can't come back here. Kenza is not healthy enough to come back here and hustle up thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, go back to go back to Ghana, feed it into Ghana's system, come back here and do that again. She can't do that. She can't do that. So she's thinking, okay, I'm going to take this lump sum. I'm going to invest this. It's going to be one and done. And no, it's not. No, it's not. And she's not the only one. She's just the one I know about. She just happens to be my favorite one. She really does. So, Kenza, her situation. And she's, like I'm saying, she's not the only one. The lady, Sincerely Michelle, you know she ain't got no money to do this. The lady, Next Level Vision, these people don't have money to do what they're trying to do. It was this one couple I was watching, I think it's DY House and something Farm. It's just like ES's channel, but it's just like her channel, but it's a Black couple. And they built a house over there and they came back. But what they were saying was that if you don't have half of that money to complete that project before you start, don't start that project. And I know these people, Kenza might have had it, but Kenza got talked into too much. Because she had, y'all have to go back and see her house. She had a nice house and it was in Florida, okay? In a nice neighborhood. She had nice things. So I'm like, oh, she got a nice chunk of change for that. But she took it all to Ghana. And look who her support system was. Look who her safety net was. A small boy who encouraged her to spend. And now look. Now look at Kenza's situation. So that's why we got to talk about this. Because again, she's not the only one. She's not the only one. It's a lot of them over there in that situation. They're just not on YouTube sharing the stories with us. She happens to be on YouTube telling the world about what's going on in her life. So that's why we're talking about her. So that's what we're talking about tonight. And so let me make sure I got the opening, because this was really shocking for me, because I told y'all I've been out of the loop for a while. When this happened way back in December, I knew I had heard something about 75 countries, being banned, but I wasn't, I was out of it. So let's start. It says, tonight we're talking about two policies hitting our community at the same time. That's why I said they're going tit for tat. They was like, okay, bam, you're going to do this, then bam, we're going to do that. You're going to try to mess us up, bam, we're going to try to mess you up. And who's in the middle? We are. All right. So they're hitting our community at the same time. So these policies are the U.S. immigrant visa pause, all right, for nationals in 75 countries. And yes, that includes many countries in West Africa And what that means for Americans married to West African spouses like myself, who happens to be in the Gambia. And guess what else I found out while doing this show? That at first it did not include, say your spouse was in the United States, okay, and he was adjusting his status. First, it didn't include them, but guess what? Now they've included them. So even if you're in the United States, they put a pause on it. They put a pause on all of them. All right. And Ghana's updated, finalized citizenship requirements for historical diasporans. I don't know what a historic diasporan is. I guess that's what they're calling us, including DNA proof, residency permit rules. Remember, I'm going to show y'all Kenza's video because she broke it down. She broke it down how much it cost. And Kenza just working like a soldier. Like somebody said, she in the hot sun, breaking her body down every day. The lady and the man, she was talking about that. She was talking about that. How you break, and she ain't lying. How you breaking your body down every day in that hot sun. So these residency permit rules, police clearances, you have to pay for police clearances, and that takes a while. Everything on this list they named, it take a while to get. All right, let me finish now. This DNA proof, you can't just go get that. And if you haven't done that, oh my God, that's going to take you a minute to get that. If you haven't kept up on your residency permit in 2 years, they want 2 years. If you haven't kept up on that, you're in trouble. You can't apply. Police clearances from Ghana and from the United States, that takes a while. They got from the 2nd to the 6th to get this stuff in, and they have major fees. And what that means for Repats trying to formalize their status in Ghana, what does that mean for them who went over there, who've been working like dogs, breaking their backs, investing every dime they got, believing this lie, getting mad at me every day, can't stand me, because I'm telling them, oh, they playing y'all. They playing you like boo-boo the food. They playing you. They're playing you. That they don't look at us as them. They don't. And we don't look at them as us. And that's why we ain't taking care of them, because that's what this bill is all about. We are mad because we have had to take care of them when they get here. And that's not the rule. The rule is you can't get on no public service. You can't get no assistance. It used to be for 10 years. Now they done cut it down to 5 years. Which has totally drained the system. So there's things going on. It's always a backstory. Why is this happening? Why is this happening? Inflation in Ghana. That's why this is happening. Inflation. We want you out. But what's a nice way to want you out? What's a nice way to tell you to get out? To charge you up. To charge you up. That's the way for me to get you out without telling you to get out. So tonight I'm gonna also address a big question people are asking, okay? And this is what I asked when I heard the reason why they were stopping, they were pausing, because I'm trying to figure out why Gambia was on the list, because Gambians don't usually, they don't do scamming, they don't usually get involved in illegal activity. And I'm like, why in the world would Gambia be on the list? And then when I looked and I saw just about every West African country was on the list, I'm like, what did they do? Because usually you got to do something for this to happen. They don't just, the government is too big, it's too heavy. It doesn't have time to micromanage every little thing. So when something comes to their attention, when they focus on you, when you become on their radar, oh, I feel sorry for you. I feel sorry for you. because you talking about dive deep. Nobody dives deeper than the feds, okay? Nobody dives deeper than them. So they dove deep, and they found these countries, these are the people who are doing this, who are draining this system. So let's go back. So tonight, the immigrants couldn't, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, how do they get on public assistance? They're not allowed to be on public assistance. So tonight, I'm going to show y'all how they get on public assistance. And that's what they're mad about, because they're coming here and they're getting on public assistance and they're draining the system. I kid you not. And I'm going to break it down clearly so you can see, and then you'll understand what that means to you if you're married to a Gambian, or married to a Nigerian, or married to a Ghanaian, or married to a Sierra Leonean, or married to some Benoits, whatever they call themselves. If you're married to one of them, and what that means to you and how that impacts you. Again, this is public information. It's for commentary awareness. I'm not a lawyer. I've never attended law school. This is only what I think and what I feel. I'm responding to the facts. Please verify your situation with a qualified attorney. Like some of you guys, that's what I was going to tell you, to contact an attorney, especially if you're a U.S. citizen. See, U.S. citizen is a little different than the permanent resident, okay? So the U.S. citizen, and this is in the document, y'all, so don't be saying, no, it ain't different. Yeah, they list them different, okay? They list them different. So if you're a U.S. citizen, then, you know, even if you're a permanent resident, if you want to contact an attorney and ask them about your situation, I would advise you to do so. And, you know, they could give you some advice. And a lot of times they have free consultations, all right? So please contact a qualified attorney or an official government source, because I am not one. Now, let me go get y'all comments before we get all this going. Because, honey, this is a lot, and I'm going to break it all the way down, because that woke me straight up. I was laying in my bed relaxing, like, okay, I'm just going to lay here and relax in my nice heated blanket. And then this video came on YouTube. I'm going to show y'all. And this man said, I've been married to my wife for 10 years. And I haven't got to the United States yet. And then the lady said, and now there's a ban on Gambians. I'm like, what? I sat straight up in that bed. I called my husband so fast. I was like, what is going on? And he's like, baby, this happened way back in December. And he was like, don't worry about it. You know, my husband is a very calm person, right? Very calm. Even when he's upset, he's calm. So he's like, don't worry about it. It's just some policy stuff. You know, they're going to work through it. Gambia's going to do what they got to do to straighten things out, you know, just calm down. But he had to talk me down for a while, because I was really upset. I was really, truly upset. And then I had to calm myself down, and I had to go and look and see, you know, what is going on. Because I'm like, how can y'all do that? How can y'all just tell somebody, oh, you can't bring your husband here? Like, how you tell me how I'm running my life? you know? So I had to calm down, and then I had to look at it realistically, like, okay, so this has happened before, because they banned Nigeria, you know, and I think it was 2020. Nigeria was banned for a little while, and they did what they needed to do. They got it straightened out, and they weren't even paused. They were banned, and they got it straightened out, and then the ban was lifted, and they were able to come back. So I had to really just calm myself. And then I said, okay, why did they do this? Are they just doing this to be nasty? What's going on? And that's when I looked and I found out what was going on. And I said, okay, now if I don't know this, there's a lot of ladies and a lot of men out here who don't know this. And we need to talk about this. This needs to be something that needs to be made aware of in our community, because this is going to impact more of us than you think. I don't care if he's there or if he's here. You're impacted by this. They've stopped them all. They put a pause on all of it. They said, no, we're done with that for now. No, we got to fix this system. We got to fix this system. because something's broken. Because before you can even come here, your spouse has to prove that they make enough money to take care of you. And that's where the breakdown is occurring. Something is wrong. Because they put things in place for this not to happen. And the fact that this is happening at this numbers, that they got to pass a whole policy and put it on pause, it's got. And then I was thinking about it when I see it in the school. If you work anywhere with the public, you see how these services are being just gobbled up like Pac-Man. I don't know if y'all remember Pac-Man, but Pac-Man was a little circle here and he went around eating other circles. That's how them services was just being gobbled up. Just gobbled up. And I'm sitting there like, wow, this has got to be costing the United States a lot of money. This got to be costing us a lot of money. ES over there in Ghana too. ES is yeah. She's this girl is just, ES is just, I don't know what she's doing. She's running around. I mean, she's just a little bit too old to be running around like that. You expect her to act a little more mature than what she does to me. Too much real stuff is going on in the world now for you to be playing. You know what I mean? Playtime is on pause. Everything is on pause right now. They're not playing with us. You see, they're not playing with us. They said, I don't care if you are. I don't care if that is your next of kin, Kiki. I don't care. I could care less that is your husband and that is your next of kin. He ain't coming. He ain't coming. He on pause right now with everybody else. He gonna wait on pause until we say he can come. And it's just that simple. It's just that simple. I'm looking to see if there was any way around it. Nope. They said usually natural born U.S. not natural born, that's different. But U.S. citizens usually don't fall into that. It's usually for if you got a green card and you bringing them here on another green card. But they was like, this time they included U.S. citizens. So again, you can contact a lawyer. A lawyer knows way more. An immigration lawyer can tell you way more. I'm just telling you the basics of what the law, that the policy is saying. And again, what I think and what I feel, this is no way the law. Okay, well, the policy is the law, but what I'm saying, no, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just telling you, I'm just an independent reporter like Don Lemon. I'm a constitutional reporter. I'm a First Amendment reporter, okay? Let's see. Hey, Mr. Dorcas, he says, that's why I never buy property in Africa land. No, because I told y'all, it will change like that. Look how they played these people. Played poor Kenza and all them other people over there. Played them like violins. If I invest, because it was if you invest, remember y'all? Remember it was come and relocate. I'm going to read it to y'all. It was invest. It didn't say that about no dang on DNA. Some of them said if you have DNA, you can get it. But it didn't say that was a requirement that you got to have DNA. What? It didn't say that unless I missed it. But that welcome back home thing did not say you have to have DNA from Ghana. Because we went over it on this channel. That 2019 year to return stuff, no, they didn't care who returned, long as you returned with some money to invest. And that's where we got it twisted. We thought that investment, I like you, I want you. No, that meant invest. Give me your money. You can't do that. I told y'all. I've been having African friends for a long time. Africans have been in my life for a long, long time, y'all. I have been around more Africans than I have been around Black Americans in my adult life. When they take you in, they take you in, and they school you on every single thing. Every single thing. And my professor I tell you about, he's one of my good friends to this day. He's still one of my good friends. And he always told us, never, ever buy land in Africa, because you will never own it. That all of that is family land. He said, I don't care what they tell you all. It is family land. And somebody's going to always come and dispute you over that land. You're going to always be paying people for that land. You're never going to own it. How can you own it? It's bloodland. It's tied to bloodlines. How can you? Even though that little ancestry.com thing, it'll give you a list of all the groups you belong to that they found in your DNA. But which one are you? Which one can you go to and say, okay, I got this test. It say I got some Igbo in me. So I'm an Igbo. Give me my Igbo land. This test say I got some Hausa in me because I come from all over Nigeria. So I can go here. I got Idoma in me. I got tests to say all of this. So I can go to them. Y'all think I can seriously go to them? Benue State, I just went there. That's where the Idoma people live. I just went there. They just stared at me a lot. That was pretty much it. But you think I can go there and say, oh, here's my DNA test. This is my village. It's an Idoma village. It's my village. I can live there. This is a Hausa village. I got some of their DNA too. So I can live there too. You think that's going to work? I keep telling y'all, no. They're going to look at me like, lady, you better get out of here. You better wait in line. What percentage are you? Because we got 90, 80. What you got? 10, 20? Y'all think that's going to matter? Man, I keep telling y'all. Now look what's happening. They got us hemmed up on both sides. Both sides, they got us hemmed up. They done came over here and continued that handout behavior. Gimme, gimme, gimme. I want everything you got. And now it done got us all stuck. Ain't nobody coming. Ain't nobody coming. Nobody. They even stopped them here. Even if your spouse is here and you going through the process, they done stopped it. They done stopped it. I'm going to play you a video to show you they done stopped it. You ain't even getting no green card. You ain't even getting no work permit things. You ain't even getting them no more. I think she said work permit. Let me make sure. She said work permit. Oh, no, she said green cards. Okay, green cards. I'm sorry, not work permits, green cards. Okay. No, you're not even getting them, and you ain't getting them either. Ain't nobody getting them no more either. Nothing. Because that whole scamming behavior, that whole I want to come on, I want to get everything you got. Do you know there was African women who was on Facebook telling other African women how to come here? Their husbands would come here, get their little green card. He'd be an African man. Because you know they marry old African men. They marry an older African man. The older African man to come here, or he'll stay here 10 years undocumented. And then after he'd been here 10 years, he'll apply for documentation. Back then, they would, if you ain't been in trouble and you pay the fee, they would give it to you. So then after that, he gonna apply for his wife, to this little young girl to come with these kids. Once she get over here, she want to be an American because she been watching TikTok, she been watching YouTube, and she want to get down with the get down. She want to uncover her hair. She want to put on skin tight clothes. She want to walk around half naked because she young. She in her 20s. She want to do what these girls doing here. And then guess what? They get in a fight. They get in an argument because she talking like us now. She thinks she's an American. She think she's appropriated American culture. Because guess what? Now she running her mouth. She talking crazy. Okay, they start putting hands on each other. He put hands on her. She know enough to know to call 911 and say this is domestic violence and to film it. So she do all that. Y'all know what's going to happen. He going to get put out. He going to have to pay child support. He gonna get the kids he gonna get away from them. She gonna get her own place. She gonna go down to the county. She gonna get on child. She gonna get him on child support. She gonna get on food stamps. She gonna get in public housing. My sister lives in public housing. Y'all, it looked like a straight refugee camp. It was nice. She lived in a nice one. It was nice older people there. Not now. I said, what happened? You look like you live in a refugee camp. She said, I don't know. I don't know what happened. But that's what's going on. You're not supposed to do that. That's not supposed to be going on. Because that's knocking who out the box? That's knocking a U.S. citizen out the box. But guess what? The babies? Oh, the babies. That's why they rush to have a baby here. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. It's all a game. It's just all a game, and the game done messed us all up. Because as soon as they get a baby here, even though they're not entitled to any benefits, guess who's entitled to all the benefits? The dang gone baby. And y'all know they ain't having one baby. When they know they can get more kids, more child support, bigger place, more food stamps. That's what's going on. I've even seen videos where the man wasn't even hitting the lady. And she rolling all on the floor, beating herself up because she wants to say this man has beat her up so she can get him on DV, get him put out the house, and get that whole domestic violence cycle stuff going so she can get a free house, public housing, food stamps, all of this stuff, all the benefits you get for being a victim of domestic violence. What they've done there, they've done here. And the repercussions, people like me, people who work, people who don't scam, my husband has to wait. Our husbands have to wait because the system is full of scammers now. It's full of people who want to come here and chop the system. And that's what they've been doing, chopping the system for I don't know how many years now. I'm surprised this country isn't bankrupt. What was going through her mind to give such a beautiful, I don't know. You seen that house? She said she was lonely, but she can't be no more lonely than what she is now because Super Shorty ain't never there. He done got what he want. He done got his status. He done got his money. He got land now. He got whatever he want now. He knows she ain't going nowhere. Y'all heard what he told that man. She do what I tell her to do. If I tell her to lay down, she lay down. If I tell her to get up, she get up. Y'all see she there all the time, walking around, talking to them bushes, getting on that little boy Ema because she frustrated because Super Shorty don't have nothing to do with her. Because for what? He doesn't need to anymore. He's dominated and controlled the situation. She's not going anywhere. She has nowhere to go. Go back to the United States and do what? Live with her sons? She don't even have a car there anymore. She gave all that away to go live with small boy Super Shorty. To build Whoville house that she's never going to finish because she doesn't have this money to pay for this immigration stuff. She doesn't have the money to finish that house. And if she had the money to finish the house, just like the couple said, they would finish the house. She walked away from, oh, here they go. This lady right here. This is who I'm talking about, y'all. This lady right here. She was talking about that. She was talking about that, her and her husband. Yeah, that's the lady I'm talking about. Had a realistic view. Telling you the truth. And they ain't even there no more. And it wasn't because they wasn't successful. It's because they saw it for what it was, and they dared to call a dang on spade a spade. They dared to do that. But see, the difference between these people I noticed and other people is that these people, her and her husband, they had something. You know what I mean? They didn't walk away from everything. Like she was saying, I'm not walking away from my grandbaby. These people walk away from their grandbabies. These women walk away from their kids. I don't care if my kids are grown. Those are my kids. And you give this country, you done gave them your relationship with your grandbaby. You done gave them your relationship with your kids. You done gave them all your money. And after that, they got the nerve to say they want more. They want more money. That's like a slap in the face. And then all these ridiculous requirements. They were smart enough to walk away. They didn't have to prove nothing to nobody. To nobody. Thank you for coming on. Yep. They didn't have to prove nothing to nobody. Y'all need to go watch their video. When I retire, I plan to do 6 months minimum in Ethiopia or other places and back home. And see, Mr. Dorcas, that is a good way to do it, y'all. I'm telling y'all, that's the way you got to do it. That's the way you got to do it. You have to. It's too much money. And you can't live just any kind of way. Like they were saying, like the lady was saying, the DIY home lady. You know, you can't just live any kind of way, especially when you get older. No, she was the one that I was telling y'all that was saying that how that life over there will break you down. Break you down. But they're not telling us that. And I know it has to because that sun is hot. And look what it's doing to poor Kenza's skin. I'm looking at her skin and I'm like, that sun is just turning poor Kenza's skin into leather. And for what? What's she doing that for? To walk away with nothing? Because that's what she's going to walk away with, none. Hopefully she walk away with her life. And that's real talk. Sherry says, Kiki, they know that we are woke. They're trying to keep us trapped. Diasporans keep the U.S. economy afloat. And we do. We do. But I'm not going no place that's doing me the way I get done up in Africa. I'm not going there for real, for real. I'm not. Now I got to go there longer than I anticipated, you know, because my husband is still there. Who knows how long he's going to be there? Who knows? Who knows? I don't know. So what can I do? Nothing but pack my bags and get on the plane. That's all I can do. Pack my bags and get on the plane. Because people wanted to come to my country and not follow the rules and suck up everything we got. Suck up everything we got. And I told y'all, I've seen it with my own eyes. I seen it with my own eyes. Baby after baby after baby after baby. They don't just have one baby. They got lots of babies. Like we was doing like in the 70s when the welfare system first started and they had the welfare queens. It was like that. And I'm like, what? I mean, what is going on here? Okay. At retirement, I don't think I will have the patience to jump through those hoops. I'm currently 49. No, you won't. No. Ghana and the USA work against the diaspora. I realized that 30 years ago. Well, I know Ghana does. Ghana is some, you know what? They some, you know what? I can't believe they whoa. Whoa, this was low. This was low what they did to them. This was low. And all those lands that are in land dispute, y'all, it's so much of that land. I think I heard 90% of that land is involved in land disputes. And these people over, and we over there. Older people. These aren't younger people. Kenza's not a younger person. She can't come back and start her life all over again. She could if she wanted to, though. I take that back. That's a lie. Long as you got breath in your body, you can start all over again. Long as you wake up every day is a new day, and you can start all over again. It might be hard, and it might take you a while, but you can do it. You can do it. She can pack up her stuff and say, forget this, I'm gone. I am gone. Before I let them take everything I got, she still got a little money. Take your little money and come home. Get you a little apartment if you got an SSI check. She got some problems, so she probably hopefully she get a check. I'm hoping she get a check. Kiki, what about the Bag family plus their kids? The Bag family is just, I don't know what's going on. There's nothing really going on with them. Nothing. It's nothing. There's no community. There's no nothing. She walks around like Kenza and talks to her plants all day. That's all they do. There's no community for us. Liz says U.S. citizenship application is $710 online and $760 per application. Keep that in mind. So that's for the people here who want to be U.S. citizens. And then for me, like what I have to pay, like it's a lot. Like by the time you finish paying the fees for your husband or your spouse to come here, it's almost $1,000, if not more. If not more. Hey, Sheila. Their GMVNT constantly change the rules. Yeah. DIY says they don't want us there. And I've been telling y'all that forever. And their policies clearly say that. Their policies clearly say they don't want us there. We don't want y'all. We just want y'all to invest. So that means I just want you for your money. That's all I want. And that's all they want us for. Most of them to come here. They just want to come here and get our money, get access to whatever benefit they can get from this country, drain it dry, and get on whatever social media they own and act like they living large when they living off the people. Ghana is controlled by the USA. Okay, but you come on, Sherry, you can't just say that. How you know that? Where your factual and evidence that Ghana is controlled by the USA? Tell us. Because if they were controlled by us, it seemed like they would have more favorable policies towards us. It seemed like they wouldn't be overcharging us the way they overcharging us, because this is just ridiculous. African Goddess says, but is it all these groups that are getting on public? Yep, that's what this is all about. Honey, I kid you not, I'm about to break it down to you because I couldn't believe it myself. They're all getting on public assistance. That's what this law is about. That's what this policy is about, is they're all using public assistance, and they don't like that because that's part of the rules to come here. You say you're not going to be on public assistance. Okay, so that's part of it. You can't be on public assistance. And that's the problem. Let me see if I can find something on that, so I can show y'all, so y'all don't have to listen to me read it. Because, and I want data to prove it. I'm like, well, how do they know this? See, now this has been going on since 6 years ago. So see, this started when COVID was here. So this public assistance has been a problem. Let me show y'all. Yeah, this has been a problem. So if this was 6 years ago, I'm gonna show y'all what I'm looking at. If this was 6 years ago, so they've been tracking it for a while. Hold on. Hold on, y'all. So that means they've been tracking this for a long time. And they said they used the census. Okay, here it is. Let's look at this one. All right. Okay. Because, yeah, I couldn't believe it either, African goddess. I'm like, all these people get, but yeah, because they keep record of it, and they do. SNAP, all those public assistance programs, everything, those public assistance programs, they keep records of that, and they report it to the federal government. And that's how they found out. Like I was saying, what's his name that was on here, whatever the, oh God, I was about to say a cuss word. Like I was saying, they look for patterns. That's what we do with data. That's why I love data. Because you won't even know what's going on until you see this pattern occurring. You're like, wait a minute. Because they asked you your country of origin. You know, when you fill out the paper, they say, what country is your country of origin? Are you a U.S. citizen? You know, where do you come from? Where were you born? And that's how they're figuring it out. This person says, Tracy Towers in the Bronx, New York is government subsidized housing. Look at this, 90% of the tenants are illegal Ghanaians. It has been that way for 30 years. You see what I mean? And now they're doing something about it. Now they're doing something about it. Now they got enough to say, hold up. But I'm trying to figure out how they traced it back to, and they had to trace it back to the spouse, because that's where they're intervening. That's where they said, no, we got to stop right here. Christine says, yep, but there can be waivers, rare but possible. Talk to an attorney, okay? I would advise you to talk to an attorney about this one. This one seems like it's pretty tight, okay? So you can talk to an attorney, and yeah, you can file for different waivers, and you can file for different things. That's true, you know, but talk to an attorney, okay? No, Nigerians are banned for the same thing. Everybody on this list is banned because of public. Let me see what's the exact wording for it. What is it called? It says on January 14th, the U.S. Department of State posted guidance titled Immigrant Visa Processing Updates for Nationals at High Risk for Public Benefits Usage. It states that effective January 21st, 2026, immigrant visa issuance is paused for nationals of 75 countries while the department reviews policies and guidance tied to public charge concerns. The pause is described as affecting immigrant visas, the visas that lead to permanent residence. The reporting emphasizes it does not generally apply to temporary non-immigrant visas like tourism or business. So it's not applying to them, it's applying to immigrant visas, and it's because of this public charge concerns. Where the pause hits in the process, this is the part that's breaking up the families, okay? So the pause hits at the consular's stage. Y'all probably don't understand that. The consular stage is when you go in for the interview, when your husband or your spouse goes in for the interview. And that's when the person talks about the money and it's supposed to make sure everything is right. All right. That's where it's paused at. It's paused at that stage. At that stage, when they go in for the interview, the visa is supposed to be issued then. Well, they're saying that's where the breakdown is occurring. Somehow at that stage, somehow people are getting through that should not be getting through. You see what I mean? Because the person they're marrying does not make enough money to take care of them because they're ending up on public assistance. Now, let's see. The immigrant visa interview, like I told you, that's the immigrant visa interview stage, and it's the final approval, and it's the stage where they actually print and issue the visa. So let me tell you what you can do, ladies and gentlemen, and even myself. You can still file your petition. All right. So you can still file the I-130. File that. File everything. Do everything you're supposed to do, because it's not going to stay like this. It is not. And when it's lifted, because after they clear this out, they're going to put more rules in place. They're going to tighten up, make it more strict on your income, what you have to have. All right. So once this is lifted, your application will already be in line. You see what I mean? So don't think, oh, I'm not going to even file. I shouldn't file. I should know. Keep on going just like this is not even happening. Okay. That's what I would do. Because that's why people say they're stuck at that stage, because they can't move forward. And that's the stage where you're supposed to no. So who's affected? Again, spouses of U.S. citizens. All right. Okay. So those are the people affected. Let me see. How can they legally and why? Okay, so public assistance. Let's get to that. I thought immigrants couldn't get on public assistance, like I told y'all, right? Here's the truth about it. Immigrants are not universally banned from public assistance. Okay, eligibility, it depends on certain things. Their immigration category, how long they've been in the U.S., what type of program, and whether the benefit is actually for the U.S. citizen child in the household. And that's who it's usually for. A good explainer for these restrictions and exemptions comes from the Migration Policy Institute. They call it the 5-year bar in qualified categories. Many lawful immigrants face a waiting period for certain federal benefits, often referred to as the 5-year bar. Remember, I told you they have to wait 5 years. But there are major exceptions, including refugees and political asylees. The rules vary from program to program. The biggest reason people think immigrants get benefits are their kids. They get it because of their kids. The major driver, now listen, the major driver of public benefit spending connected to immigrant household is this. If a household has one U.S. born children, and children is more than one, so they got them. If the household has U.S. born children, these children are U.S. citizens and may be eligible for certain benefits. It ain't no may be eligible, they getting them. Now, so you will see benefits linked to a household with non-citizen parents. And I see this all the time. You'll see a household with non-citizen parents, but they'll have about 10 citizen kids. And they'll be getting benefits for those kids. So you'll see benefits linked to the household with non-citizen parents, but the recipient may be legally be the citizen child. So that's what we have going on here. Emergency services and state and local programs add to the totals. Also, some services are available regardless of immigration status, like emergency medical care. So they go to the hospital, they ain't going to turn you away. And this could show up as cash for welfare also, because these programs where you come in and you don't have insurance, it's usually funded by some kind of program when you go to the hospital and don't have insurance. So you say, okay, but what does that mean? Okay, but what does that, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, what data do we use? Where do we get this information from? How do they measure public benefits usage? That's what I wanted to know. I'm like, how do you even get this information? How did y'all find this out? So let me answer the question. There's two different data worlds that they use. This is where they got it from. There are two different data worlds. They call them worlds: the administrative data and survey data. And these are actual administrative data, are actual program records from government agencies like Medicaid, enrollment, SNAP participation, etc. Sometimes matched with a group, with an analyzed group. So they'll say, okay, tell me how many Gambians are getting public assistance. They'll put that in the computer. Boom, 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 boom. Computer gonna pull that up. How many Nigerians are getting public assistance? Boop, 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 boop. Going to fill that up with non-citizen parents and children. Boop, 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 boop. It's going to fill that up. So this is how they're getting the information. And then they're looking at survey data, large national surveys where people self-report. So they're asking these people and they're telling them that they're getting these benefits. One of the major public databases used to analyze different benefit usage is the Survey of Income and Program Participation, which is called SIP, okay? It asks households about participation in programs like SNAP, Medicaid, and SSI, and is widely used and analyzed across different lines by different government bodies. So they're just collecting data. I told y'all they don't have nothing but time. Researchers also use census-based data sets and national surveys to estimate how many immigrants or immigrant households receive benefits and which programs. For example, some analyze outlets explicitly state they come from the state, okay? Some just look at data from the state, some look at data from the census, all right? So they get this information from different places. Now, public charge is not any benefit at all. So let me give you the legal definition of public charge, okay? So there's no, now there's a legal core public charge. It's a formal immigration concept, and it has a limited list of benefits that count. Under the DHS public charge framework, the benefits considered are typical: cash assistance for income maintenance like SSI, TANF, or certain state assistance, and long-term institutional and government expenses. This is described in an official and quasi policies. Okay. All right. So when you hear public benefits usage, it doesn't necessarily mean any program. Is often coded for benefits that fit public charge definition. So if it falls under the public charge, which means we are paying for it and the government's risk, and so it's going to get scored under there, and that's what's going on. All right. So the government uses agencies you'll see who give them this information are people enrolled in Medicaid, SNAP, TANF, and SSI, state administered reporting, and other types of reporting. So this is what they do. But here's a key. The State Department announcement does not publish tables. So they didn't publish a table showing us the country and the amount of welfare that country receives. So we haven't been able to see that, okay? Now let me go back over here and look and see what y'all saying. And then I'm going to show y'all a little video about this. Somalis in the UK draw a lot of public assistance and welfare benefits. Man, this is ridiculous. Trump is cleaning things up. He is a bad man. Yeah, but this has to stop though. And at first I was really upset, but then I'm like, wait a minute, if this is what's going on, then I have to wait. If I got to make a sacrifice, then I got to make a sacrifice. Thank God I can still go to Gambia, and see my husband. It ain't a big deal like that, although I would like for him to, be here. But if I got to wait for them to clean this up, then I'll wait. Because this is ridiculous. And I told you, I see it firsthand. So I know this is no lie. I see it in live time. It's in my face. Surely there is going to be some discretion. Well, honey, they ain't showing no discretion now. Hey, Tammy. Tammy says it's so true. You won't. And I kept telling y'all that, but they said I was lying. Remember, even though their own constitution tell you can lease it for so long, so they kept trying to tell me leasing is the same thing as buying. So I'm like, how is leasing the same thing as buying when it clearly has a time limit on it? If I'm buying something, there's no time limit on it. So it's all been a game. It's all been a scam. It's all been a flim flam from the beginning. From the beginning. FYI, you never own land in America. But that's different. I don't mind paying taxes in America. Okay. I don't mind that. That's completely different. Because guess what? I can go in the bathroom and I can flush my toilet and it's going to flush. I can come out here and my lights is going to come on. And if my lights are off, guess what? I can pick up the phone and call somebody and get an explanation to why my lights are off, and somebody going to come out here and fix my lights. Okay. So I don't mind that. Oh, I'll pay taxes gladly for that, honey. Gladly. Tanya says you never need to know your clan at least before you start claiming land. Oh, she says you need to know your clan. Yeah, but most of us don't. That's the thing. We don't. So you can't just go there and just say, even if you know them, they don't know you. And there's Adoma people everywhere. There's Hausa people everywhere. Adoma people are kind of located in certain area, but like the Hausa people are everywhere. How do you know which one to go to? Off Grid Queens, New York says, "Oh, hey, how you doing, sweetie?" Christine says, "The officers have the option to give a waiver, so it's not completely stopped, but it's extremely rare to get one." The officers, are you an attorney, Christine? Because you acting like this is facts, and you can't do that. You speaking like this is facts. So are you an attorney? Why are you speaking like this is factual when everything that I'm saying is, extremely rare to get one? No, it's not. It's not. I'm going to tell y'all to speak to a lawyer, okay? Speak to a lawyer. That's what I'm going to tell you. I don't know who this person is. I don't know why she's speaking like she is factual, but I don't know. Just get you a lawyer, okay? Please do that. Don't believe nothing nobody's saying on here. They husband may pay to marry, then divorce them, apply for a real family. Shocked it took so long for the U.S. to figure it out. Yeah, but that ain't it. That's not okay. But I thought about that, right? So you said they paid to marry, and but how are they ending up on welfare? How are they ending up in public housing? How are they ending up on food stamps? How are they ending up on SNAP? How are they ending up on Medicaid? Because once you divorce them and you apply for your real family, then what happens? The real family got to come here and get on Medicaid. So it's not about that. And see, that's what I thought too. It's not about sham marriages. It's not about scam marriages. No, it is about public assistance. It's about them coming here, getting on public assistance once they're here. They didn't say not one thing about sham marriages or them coming here, marrying you, then divorcing you and marrying somebody else. No, ma'am. They didn't say a thing about that. They're not concerned about that. They're concerned about this public use, you using public services. That's where the concern is. Facts, stupid games get stupid tricks, Christine says. The whole package. So let's watch this video real quick and see what they say about this, so y'all can get a better understanding of what's going on here. it's right here. Okay. So in this video, they're going to tell us about why they're concerned about these 75 countries because they are using public assistance. They're public assistance concerns. So they're concerned about that. So let me pull this up. Hold on one second. Let me get the sound for y'all. Let me make sure y'all can see. All right. Put this over here. Make this bigger. 1 second. All right. Now let's see what they say here.
Administration is tightening rules for immigrants trying to come into the United States. The U.S. is putting a freeze on processing visas for people living in 75 different countries. But the State Department insists this will not impact people who want to come here for the World Cup games this summer. Eyewitness News reporter Michelle Charlesworth has the story.
This pause on visas that kicks in on the 21st is explained as a way to save money and end any draw on American public resources, including medical treatments. There will be 75 countries affected. So far, the list includes Somalia, Russia, Afghanistan, Brazil, Iran, Iraq, Egypt, Nigeria, Thailand, and Yemen. This does not apply to non-immigrant visas or temporary tourist or business visas. For example, coaches, athletes, or soccer fans coming this summer for the World Cup, they are not affected.
It is causing massive panic for family members. This is going to be spouses of U.S. citizens, children.
Immigrant attorney Veronica Cardenas says for days now, her office has been getting phone calls, and now they know why. Cardenas worked with ICE for 13 years as assistant chief counsel. She reminds people these cost-saving public charge safeguards were first written into law more than 100 years ago.
What they're doing here is just doing a blanket pause on all of those applications.
Told you.
This is a statement from the State Department. Quote,
the
Trump administration is bringing
this is something old. This has been around for a long time. So they sat around and said, okay, let's see what's up. And they started looking at all these records where this money is being spent. And they see, oh, wait a minute, it's a whole bunch of immigrants coming over here, getting all this money, becoming a public charge, and we're paying for it. We got to stop that. And it's somehow they're coming through the spouses because they've traced it to that is the point where the breakdown is occurring. Let's go back to
end to the abuse of America's immigration system by those who would extract wealth from the American people. The State Department will use its long-standing authority to deem ineligible potential immigrants who would become a public charge on the United States and exploit the generosity of the American people, close quotes. Fewer tourists will mean lost revenue.
See?
I think that's exactly
That's
where we're
what I'm
going.
telling you. I see a lot of exploiting. I see it with my own eyes, unfortunately. Exploiting the system. And our system has been exploited. And they're finally saying, Donald Trump is finally saying, no more. We stopping this. We stopping this. We're not even letting our own people exploit the system. We sure not going to let y'all keep coming here exploiting the system. Because the system can't take it, y'all. I've been working in the system for years. Different aspects of the system. And the system can't take it. I'm telling you, it's going to break the system down. And that's what's happening now. The system is being broken down because it's too much dang on weight on the system. And there's not enough supports. And that's no lie. And I see it every single day.
To feel it in the economy. People do not want to travel to the U.S.
And she does not see how this will not affect who comes for events like the World Cup. Michelle Charlesworth, Channel 7, Eyewitness News.
Now, the World Cup, they care about that because you know why? They're going to make money off of that. You see, I told y'all, cities don't want you to come and stay. We want you to come, spend your money, have a good time, and leave. We don't want you to use our services. We don't want you to set up shop and live there, because guess what? Soon as you set up shop and live there like these immigrants, guess what you're going to do? You're going to start using our services. And you're going to drain our services. So they don't want you to do that. They want you to come spend your money and leave, like these good U.S. soccer tournament people are going to do. They're going to spend their money and leave. They're not going to stay here and try to exploit the system. Kiki, some of those older men who come back to Africa to marry their daughters, right? The problem is when other people have to pay for it. Yeah, and that's the problem. Because those girls, once they get here, they want to be Black American girls. They want to be free. And this country teach you could do whatever, whatever. And the domestic violence system, it's going to help you. So they exploit our social systems. And I'm not saying all of them do. Some of them might be victims of DV. But, some of them are exploiting the system. Because I've seen videos. And I know y'all, somebody on here has seen that video on YouTube, because that's an old video where he ain't doing nothing to her. And she's calling the police saying he's beating her up. Sheets says, had to give it up to Trump administration for protecting. He said he got to give it up to the Trump administration for protecting us. That was draining us. That was draining us. That was truly, truly draining us. And I can't believe this is what was going on. It will be soon, Miss Charlie says. Christine says, I feel like the government is at fault too. Immigration laws are way too nice and easy. I wouldn't say they're at fault. I would say people just take advantage of them. I mean, they try to make it lenient for us. They're our family. We want to marry people from other countries and bring them here, and they try to make it easy for us to do that. But when we getting, we can't even see we getting scammed. You can't even see you getting scammed, but they're not looking at that. I'm telling you, they're not looking at that at all. They're talking about when you get here, when these people get here, they're exploiting our public service system. That's what they're talking about. They didn't talk about none of that other stuff about scamming us, marrying us for a green card. No. But guess what? They stopped that too. We're going to get to that next. When ICE making their runs, those Black jobs are opening up. $700 to $750 million allegedly went through the Minneapolis airport in 2 years to know this administration's not having it. Where did it go? It went through the airport, but where did it go? Just be patient, folks, Sheik says. You have to break a few eggs to make an omelet. We know Whoville. Yeah, that's the Whoville house. Y'all know Whoville. DIY says that's right, Kiki. Christina says somebody is silly. It's crazy, so sad they don't do their due diligence before getting caught up in this mess. But Tammy, sometimes they do. It's just be so many lies. And if they're talking to somebody they believe in, one of the YouTube people they believe in, or if they're talking to somebody consulting them about buying this land, they will believe them. And they'll say, okay, well, what about this? And they'll have an answer. So for every answer you have, every question you have, they have an answer. And you got to remember, most of these people that I've researched who've made this move, Tammy, they're heartbroken over something. They're heartbroken over something. So that's the first thing. They're going there with a broken heart, which makes them very vulnerable and sets them up for all kind of being taken advantage of. So that's the first thing. BW afraid of the sun. Y'all, I don't know what you're talking about. Empress says, what they going What are they going to do when they have to pick a citizenship? Yeah, because you're not going to, because if they doing this, they ain't going to let you have dual citizenship. They ain't going to be playing with you about that. They're not. That's the next thing. I did a video about that. That's the next thing they about to put down. Yeah, they're not going to let you do that. You're going to pick a side because they feel like it's an honor. And they not even playing. The way they clowned this Indian man, I could not believe he was a politician. And they talked about this man so bad, I could not believe the things I was hearing. I said, oh, America has changed. Oh, it has changed. Oh, they have changed, y'all. The way they look at immigration now, it ain't the same, honey. It ain't the same. And they go by your accent. They want to hear your accent. They want to hear you speak. That's what's going to make the difference to them. What they don't, what you look like, what you speak, what's your name? That's another thing. What's your name? What's your people name? Where you come from? That's what they're on now. This American identity, they're serious about this now. They feel like that is a privilege to be an American. And people didn't take it serious for so long. But now this government is like, no, we're not playing that game. You done came here and you done what you wanted to for years. Now this country's been run amok. Now we're trying to fix it and we're broke. Because of what? People are exploiting the social services programs? Are you serious? That's why elderly people can't find housing. That's why my sister's disabled. She lives in a place where disabled people should live, elderly disabled people. But it looked like a dang on, you drive through there, you can't even drive through there because they don't drive the way we drive. The kids don't know about crossing the street rules. Babies every dang on where. And it ain't. And I said, these are not, my sister be like, where these Africans come from? I'm like, I don't know. I said, they gotta be East Africans because I haven't seen this before. But I don't know what they are. It's unbelievable. That's all I can tell you. And how it's not even like we're trying to appropriate to American culture. No, we living like we living in Africa. We got our clothes hanging outside on the bushes. We cooking all in the street. We not paying attention to none of the rules of the community. It's just like, I'm just gonna do me, and I don't care about what your country say. And to me, that's disrespectful. If you're gonna come, if you were nice, if you were lucky and blessed enough to get to our house, the least you can do is keep it clean. The least you can do is follow the rules of our house. Especially we giving you a house for free or for next to nothing. Next to nothing. Then I hear a story about how public housing is full of illegal immigrants. Are you serious? Yeah, travel back and forth. There's a class action cases started, so let's see how those work. Okay. Don't think it's the sun. I think it's probably her diet and stress affecting. I don't know, African goddess. I just, I feel really bad for her. I just feel really bad for her because I think Kenza believed this boy loved her. I believe she thought it because I'll go through her old videos, and she looked so happy when she was dancing in that mall parking lot. When she first got there, she looked so happy. And now I look at Kenza now, she sounds like a bitter old woman. When she be out there talking to the plants and fussing about Ema, just a bitter old woman. And I'm like, what happened? Well, you know what happened. The exploitation happened. The exploitation, it will suck you dry. Kenza is tired. I remember y'all the chickens when we watched the Christmas show. And she knew they was taking advantage of her. And she went over there and asked the people how much was the chickens. And she knew that Super Shorty let her be taken advantage of when they sold her the chickens for more than what they was worth. So just imagine that life she living. Just imagine that. And you keep doing this for what? Oh, I'm going to be a citizen of Ghana. And what is that? What is that? And what does she say? I'm going to play y'all Kenza. We're going to listen to what poor Kenza had to say. What does that get you? You can travel all over the Ecois nations. I don't care about that. What do I care about that? I could care less about that. What was done to these people in Ghana is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. But I've been telling y'all and telling y'all and telling y'all, and y'all come on here and make them stupid, silly comments. Oh, you hate Ghana. Oh, you're jealous of Ghana. For one, Ghana is a country. I'm a person. How could I be jealous of a thing, an inanimate thing, a place? I just see how Ghana has played my people, how they played in their face, and how, yes, people don't believe in witchcraft, but if you believe, if you have anything to do with West Africa, you better believe in their spirituality, because guess what? They believe in that more than they believe you are real. Their spirituality is more real to them than you are. And when ES said to us, she told us to our face, her and those cheese put a spell on us. For anybody who showed any interest in Ghana, what were you going to do? You were going to give everything you got. They used ES and she knew it. And what did ES wind up with? For being the wicked witch who's going to lead her people astray, who called us in, who called the women in to lead them astray, to lead them to the devil. And then when she don't want to play with the devil no more, she call herself telling on the devil and she think it's going to be all good. No, baby, it don't work like that. You're going to pay too. We was listening to you. We was following you. But how do we follow a woman who left her two beautiful twin daughters? How do we follow a woman like that? Who walk away from her kids? Like DIY Farm said. How do you do that? How do you never hear? You don't even be around your grandbaby. You don't even be around your kids. You can't even get to your kids if they need you. What kind of woman don't care about that? Don't care about seeing her kids because they grown. Kenza walked away from her two sons. Her two sons. And the one baby boy, he loved her so much. The oldest one, I'm sure he do too. But that boy, he loved his mom so much. And he was so hurt because he knew what they was doing to her. In that video, when he was walking to the airport, y'all, he got his head hanging down. He got his head hanging down, and you can see, you can feel the pain in this boy's eyes. He ain't a boy, he a man. He older than Super Shorty. And he looking like, what is going on? Can't my mom see this? Why can't my mom see they just using her for everything she got? She couldn't even see it. And now that everything is almost gone and they want more, now she's starting to see it. I don't even think she's starting to see it. I think it's just the money situation. But ES told us about the spell. And we act like we don't believe it. We act like we can't see it. Because it makes no sense, like we said, that Kenza would sell that beautiful home. That beautiful home to go build a Whoville house that she will never finish. She has not finished one project. Kenza jumps around like her mind is not stable. It goes from one thought to the next thought to the next thought. This project, she got too many projects going on at one time. But it's a way to get you. I'm investing in Ghana. I got chicken farms. I got animals. I got to show them I'm spending my money in Ghana. But guess what Ghana said? I don't care. BITCH, spend more. That's what they said. That's what they said. Spend more. Yep, now everything on hold indefinitely. It sure is. But they're going to go back and clean it up. See, what they're going to do is go back. See, they tracked it to it's at that final stage. Because when they go in for the interview, that's when you come in with all your documents. And that's when you're supposed to show, what you got, present your case. So they feel like at that point, that needs to be stronger. All right. I think I had that in my notes too. Because I think I have that. But at that point, it needs to be stronger, okay? So that's why they're at the consulate stage, okay? Because they want to make sure that this marriage is real. They want to make sure that this person has money when they get here. They want to make sure that you're not going to come here and exploit the system. They want to make sure of that. They want to make sure of that. And every one of these countries on here, they have data that shows that you come here and you exploit the system. So you got to hold up until we fix this. And at first, yeah, I was upset. I ain't lying. I was upset. I was really, truly upset. But then after I started researching and figuring out, and I knew the why they were doing it, I'm like, oh, well, roll on. Do what you do. Do what you do. Because I can see my husband. I can go to Africa anytime I want to. My husband has a whole life there. It ain't like that. You know what I mean? It ain't like, and we've been together for a long time, so it ain't like that. He has a whole life. So, I don't enjoy, y'all know what, but I just got to go do it. So it's what I got to do. So let me see where I am in these notes. We're at Ghana. So let's start. Let me get y'all the facts about Ghana first. So now let's hit Ghana, exactly how the requirements changed. And I want to know how they changed, okay? Because I'm like, wait a minute, this don't sound like it used to, like the requirements I remember. So Ghana's outreach to the diaspora accelerated with the year of their return. Oh, hold on. Let me show y'all this one video before we get on Ghana. Now, this is what I want to show y'all the difference. So for some of y'all ladies who y'all got a dude who over there, and if the dude start talking like this, y'all know this dude just want to get to America. This dude ain't trying to be with you. This dude just want to get to America. So check this story out.
Mohammed has worked towards getting a visa to join his wife.
Now, this is the story that woke me up. Okay, this was what was on my TV that woke me up, and I sat straight up and said, what? So hold on.
For years, Mohammed has worked towards getting a visa to join his wife in the United States. But new policy there has crushed that dream.
I have been married for 10 years, and my wife is in the US waiting for me. I followed every step, submitting forms, attending interviews, paying fees, hoping to finally be with her.
Now, something sounds like it's wrong with his application, because you hear him say, I've been submitting going to interviews, like more than one interview. You shouldn't be going to more than one interview. You shouldn't be doing certain things more than once. So it sounds like, and then maybe they wanted to wait 10 years, but it don't sound like they wanted to wait 10 years. It sounds like something is going on. And I don't know. I wish I knew more about this story. It was just when he said, interviews and was putting S's on things like more than once with immigration, I'm like, oh no, there was a problem. So let's go back.
But now the process is frozen, my interview cancelled, and I don't know when I will see her again. All I want is to be with my wife and rebuild our life together. But it feels like my future is in someone else's hands.
The suspension comes under expanded public charge rules aimed at preventing migrants who are likely to rely on government assistance.
Families from 75 countries globally, including the Gambia, are now facing indefinite delays under the new policy. This is addition to partial visa restrictions that came into force at the beginning of this year that suspended the issue of new business, tourism, student visa, with just a very few exceptions.
The decision has left many devastated.
Some of them cry a lot. Some of them call me on the phone. Some of them lose hope. I had about 4 clients. I cannot call their name for a certain reason. The way they react to this, they have to go through the back way.
Now, he said he had 4 clients who were so upset because because Donald paused them coming here to be with their spouses, that they've decided to come the back way to the United States. Now, ladies, if your man is telling you that man don't love you. That man just want to get out of Gambia, or he want to get out of wherever he at. All right? Because like somebody said in the comment section of this video that I'm playing, why don't the wife just come there? He don't know when he gonna see her again. Why? Why you don't know that? Why can't she come there? She had to come there, or did they meet on the phone? Sometimes they meet online and they don't never meet each other in face to face. But he said, I'm gonna see her. I don't know when I'm gonna see her again. Why not? So that means she doesn't have the money to come there. See, that's another thing they're gonna notice. Okay, so what's the problem? So this person really doesn't have the money to maintain this relationship, because when they get here, they cannot work. It takes them a minute. It takes about 3 months for them to work, for them to get, even if they come here and their paper is cleared right away, it still take about 3 months. So you're going to have to continue to run that household with another person in there, a full-grown person, a full-grown man. But it ain't going to be that long, because they get jobs. That's one thing about Africans, honey. Africans love to work. They love to work. So then, they get a job, and then that's different, okay? But I say that to say you have to have that income, and they know that, all right? But that's why I'm confused. Like, where does the public charge come in? So it has to be the person. I don't know. I don't know how that's happening. I really don't, because you got to submit all this paperwork to show for 3 years your income. So you can't just have it for 1 year. You got to have this income for 3 years. So maybe they're not, because I don't know, y'all. I don't know how this is happening. I don't.
One of them called me.
But if somebody's telling you, oh, I'm going to go the back way because I can't be with you and I can't, then that man don't love you. That man just trying to get here any way he can.
Like, let me use it. Since US is not giving me the opportunity, maybe I have to go through by the sea. Ever since I did not heard from them, and which is very, very sad.
The Trump administration been tightening immigration controls during his second term by expanding travel bans, adopting stricter visa policies, and screening of applicants. Officials cite high visa overstay rates, unreliable civil records, corruption, terrorist or criminal activity, and refusal by some countries to accept deported nationals.
Yes, we can point fingers and we can say it's not fair, but in the end of the day, it's their prerogative, it's their right. They're entitled to do it. It's legal for them to do it. So I think we also just need to look at what we can control, and what we can control right now is strengthening our system, is strengthening our partnerships, is strengthening South to South cooperation, is strengthening the relationship that we have with countries that want to partner up with other countries that want to welcome us.
Be that as it may, for Muhammad and thousands of Gambian families, a decision made in Washington has plunged their lives into indefinite uncertainty. Maimuna Ba.
I don't think it's so much that we don't want to work with them. I think it's the fact that we just feel like, come on, You know, don't mistake, excuse me, don't mistake my kindness for weakness. I can't stand that. You know, don't think just because I'm nice, don't think just because I have social programs to take care of my citizens that, you know, that mean come over here and drain us dry. That's not what that means. That's not what they're there for. Public housing is not there for you just to keep having kid after kid after kid. Because you want to live a single life and you want to be whatever you think a Black American woman is. You got some warped view of her. Because these children, you heard me say, that's the key. And let's thinking of that. Somebody keep coming over here calling me a tether. Let me tell you something. I have been in this country. My family has been in this country for over 400 years, sir, madam, whoever you are. I only love Nigeria because that's the most DNA in my body. And for me to love myself, I have to love where I come from, which is Nigeria. Most of me comes from Nigeria. So I love poor Nigeria and I love myself. But a tether, I am not. I was born here. My grandmother was born here. My mother was born here. My I have documented evidence of our tenure, of our time in the United States. So I don't know why you keep calling me a tether and YouTube keep blocking it. So I don't even get to see your comment because YouTube will block it. So you might as well just stop doing that. Bringing spouses here is like $5,000 after no, it's not. See, that is not true. Why do you say that? That is not true. It is not $5,000. It's not. Where are you bringing them for? After all the fees and no, it is not. Self-filing is the cheapest way to do it. And you're just going to pay the fees, okay? So it's not $5,000. The fees are not $5,000. I think the one form, the I-30, is the most expensive one, and the other ones I don't think you pay for. I think one of them might be $50. It's not. It's like $1,000. It might be a little more than $1,000. But this $5,000, Christina, what are you talking about, man? Come on now, don't do that. Miss Charlie says, what about what they contribute? Does that even matter? What you mean? Who contributes? Who is they? I know people at the highest level of Ghanaian government. Ghana is America's cousin. I'm sure she is. Okay. What's that got to do with her being greedy? What that got to do with her being greedy? What do that got to do with her being greedy? Taking all the passport granny's money. What do that got to do with it? That's what I want to know. What do that have to do with it? That's what I want to know. I don't care whose cousin she is. What that got to do with what she doing? Because this is low down what she doing. Because I done talked to these repats who invested all their money, who had dreams. And now you're going to throw another wrench in the game? No, that wasn't the deal at first. Let me tell you what it said at first. It said Ghana reached out to the diaspora and accelerated with the year of their return in 2019, and then beyond the return. During this period, Ghana granted citizenships to groups of diasporans, including widely reported large group in 2024. So they give us the story to come home, invest, reconnect. Nowhere does it say move there. Nowhere does it say stay there. It says come home, because they know that's where you came from, because they sold your grandparents from there. They want you to spend the money you made here in the United States after y'all finally got free from slavery. And they finally gave y'all some rights and y'all could get jobs. And now we see that y'all able to go to school and make money. Now that y'all got some money, we want y'all money. So y'all bring that right back here to invest with us. And we're going to reconnect y'all to who we really are and what we really did to y'all. We played y'all in and we playing y'all now. So we reconnecting y'all to what we did to y'all in the past. Yeah, that's pretty much what they've done. But what's happening now is a move toward a more formalized and standardized application. So this application, they feel like this is more formalized, this is more of a standard application, and it's a smoother process, okay? So this is what it says. The applicant's got to be 18. They have to have a completed application form. They have to have a birth certificate, a passport with a data page. They have to have proof of legal residency, including a 2-year residency permit. Ken's about to tell us how much all this costs. Police clearance record, a certificate from both home countries, Ghana and your home country, that say give police clearance. You know how long that takes? And this is only for from the 2nd, February 2nd to the 6th. I'm going to read you the letter. These requirements are being reported by Ghana media and echoed in the public notes. Okay, so let's talk about the fees. Now the fees, these are huge. The administrative processing fee, which is paid at the initial document review. So when you go in and get your document reviewed, you're going to pay this 1,500 Ghana cedis. I think that's it, $125. Hold on. It's in my... It's, yeah, that one is $135. You're going to pay $135. And then for the application fee, which is paid later, and it's paid at the ministry, that one is 25,000 Ghanaian cedis. And that is, let's see how much that is. And that converts to $2,284.15. So for this citizenship application, you're paying what? Maybe $2,500. I'm rounding it, everybody. All right. So let me see where we are. Okay, we talked about that. So why they did the form like this. Okay, now this is what the rules are. You have to have an in-person submission. It's not online. And you have to have it at the designated administrative center, which is at the World Trade Center in Accra. So you got to go to Accra. And listen, it's only from February the 2nd, which is tomorrow, through what? When is the 6th? It's only from February 2nd to February the 6th. Kenza said the 16th. No, baby girl. It's to the 6th. So they're only giving you until Friday. You have Monday through Friday, this 1 week, to sit and get all those documents together, get all that testing done, get all that money together. Then you got to drive it down there to the World Trade Center. You can't email it. You can't do it online. And you have to do it between 9 a.m. and 3 a.m. This is what you have to do to apply. Wow. So what changed? What changed? Ghana moved from a citizenship outreach era that felt symbolic and celebratory. So at first it was just symbolic and celebratory. It was, we love you. We want you back. We just, we want to be friends. And then now it's a more formal, they call this a more formal compliance model. So all the love is gone. The love is gone. So you got to be 18. You got to have a 2-year permit. All right. So that's like kind of, hard to get, but not too bad. But the police clearances, that's a big deal because you got to get one from back home. And I think you got to be here. You got to sign for that. Like, I don't even know how you could get that, but you could probably do that online. I'm sure you could do that online, but I don't know. And then the DNA test, no, you can't do that right away. That take a long time. That takes weeks. And then the fees, y'all. The fees are ridiculous. So, in other words, the door isn't closed, but it's now expensive, document heavy, and structured like an immigration process. Now, let's check out what Kenza had to say about this immigration process. Okay. Hold on. I'm trying to see if I'm going to play this video. Let me put Kenza on first, because there's this other one I found. I told y'all where they're stopping the ones from here also. So they putting a pause on all of them because of the games being played. You don't exploit people like that. People be nice to you and invite you into their home, and you just gonna come and eat up all their food when they go to sleep at night. Nah. Go in their refrigerator and raid it. Nah, man. If I gotta wait, I gotta wait. I can go to Gambia anytime. It ain't no big deal. I talk to my husband every day. It ain't no big deal like that, honey. I'm not man crazy like that. That is one thing about me. I'm not a man crazy type of woman. All right, let's check this out.
These past few days, there's been some little chatter around about citizenship. So today I want to elaborate on this citizenship thing. By the time this video come out, hold on. So I have company. Athea is here with me this morning. Ladies, has eaten.
Watch what milk does to your.
Hold on, y'all.
I need to do better, and people gonna get on me for saying what I have to say, but
see, the gatekeepers gonna get on her. What I tell y'all, they gonna get on her for saying something, because she can't say nothing. You better not complain about this, Kenza. You know that lady Kiki Loves Nigeria listening to everything you say. You know soon as she get it, she gonna run with it. You better not say a word, Kenza. Shoot, Kenza said, forget that. Forget that. Y'all playing us for our money, smiling in our face, telling us to come on over here, making us think it's a love fest. We telling Kiki she a liar and she just jealous. And she really trying to warn us, hey, that fire hot. I'm telling y'all, that fire hot. It's going to burn you. It is going to burn you up. But y'all saying she lying. And all along, she was telling us the truth.
It's ridiculous. It's outrageous. Inviting us back home like they really want us to be here. But then they're raping us every day. It's like rape. It's like.
Now that was a bit much. I thought that was a bit much. But I don't think they invited you home. That's the thing. Excuse me. They said come home, invest, and reconnect. Nobody said come move back here. Nobody said come get involved with one of these small boys and think you're going to have a home with him and think you're going to have a life with him. Because African men have certain things they have to do in their life to make them feel like a man. And one of them is have children with a wife. So if they haven't done that and they can't do that with you, they're going to continue to find somebody, whether you know it or not, that they can do that with, because that's just part of who they are. That's just part of who they are. So you got somebody really young. He hasn't been through certain stages of his life. So he wants to do certain things. He want to get married. He want to have babies. He want to have a house. He want to have all of that. He want to have all of that. That's who Kenza went there to be with. And I think that's the part that she's missing. I think that's the part that she's missing. Because she truly has no support system whatsoever. None. None.
Like a violation, just taking, I contribute a lot here. I just renew my.
And she does.
That's it.
She does contribute a lot there. She contributes a lot there, and she did it fast. She did it in like the 3-year time frame, because Kenza's been there less than 3 years, and she's done more than Black Acres, and Black Acres been there I don't know how long. But she did invest a lot. She invested a whole lot, and she continues to invest a lot. And then for them to come back and tell this lady, you need more, and then to be nasty about it, this is just a formal way that we're doing it.
Citizenship. What am I saying? To renew my permit, I just had to pay another 5,500 Ghana cedis. That's 550 USD, approximately. Don't quote me on it. The rates change every day, but that's around what it is today. So 5,500. That's 550 USD every year to renew. Not even, it's the same as the initial fee, just to renew.
Said that was 500,
and then to turn around.
So to renew this show, they got to pay that renewal, which is 550. They have to pay that 135, which is that application. Then they have to pay that 2,000, almost 2,300. Oh, that's a lot of money, and the dollar is worth nothing. It has dropped to 9 CDs. That's nothing.
Oh, then I have to renew my non-citizenship Ghana card. That's how much they have. Pick them out. Pick them. They still on it? Okay, well, leave them a little. This is the time they lay in, so leave it. So let me show you guys my face for this one. Had to pay the permit renewal. No, Ghana card. Ghana card is another I can't remember. I'm just saying, I know it's around 1,005 or something like that. Another $150 every year renewal. Every year renewal for.
So they almost spending $1,000
citizens don't
to renew stuff every year, and for what? What they getting out of that? So they've been milking these people for a long time. See, that's why it keep going up and up, because you keep showing them. Okay, I'll pay this little, because see, they'll start with a little bit, something small, and then they're going to keep on increasing to see how much more they're going to get out of you before you. Oh, this is wild. This is really wild. I would not be doing this.
I have to pay this fee. That's one of the only good things I see about the citizenship. But by the time you pay what they're asking for, you might as well renew every year. I know the green passport, the ECOWAS passport, is a good thing to travel within African ECOWAS countries. But however, some of these countries you can travel on a U.S. passport. Does it really? I mean,
she right about that.
Introducing Grammarly, like you've never.
She's right about that. Some of the countries you don't even need that. You can, like Senegal, we don't need a visa to go there. It's just like she said, it just depends on the country.
They want us here, but I pay taxes when I go to the grocery store. I spend at least 2,000.
She sure do, honey. She a big spender.
Mall. That's just going for groceries.
Kenza's a big spender.
I buy materials. I just built this.
She sure do, honey.
I buy materials every week. I buy chick feed every week. I
do.
pay GRA taxes
She be cashing them out.
when I register my land. I pay GRA taxes when we went to do a business certificate.
All right.
Don't think you don't pay taxes.
Oh, I'm sorry. She's the next Harriet Tubman. Remember, that's what Next Level called her? She's the next Harriet Tubman. She's setting us free. But remember, Kenza was a land seller. She was a consultant. How do you think she got the land in Potson? She was given land to hustle y'all, to come to Ghana and get stuck in the trap that she in, so y'all tail feathers can get burnt too. And that's the honest to God truth. And now she finds herself in this situation where her back is up against the wall. And she doesn't have enough money. None of them do. Just like the DIY farm lady said, her and her husband, if you don't have enough, you don't have half that money, you don't need to be doing that project. And most of them people don't have even a third of that money. Kenza probably did, but she was taking that little boy on vacation here, there, and everywhere. She's spending her money on a boy. And see, that's how you know she ain't with a man, because a man ain't going to let you do that, Kenza. A man that care about you is not going to let you do that. Take me to China and you going to do it. And you did it.
Yeah. Every time you go and you pay at the POS or at a restaurant, you see you pay taxes, right? The other smaller vendors, you don't see that you pay taxes. Where now, this is my thing. Okay, so now they went from my understanding, I didn't get citizenship last year.
So she applied last year. They told her no. So even if this is the killing part, y'all, I'm thinking as long as you feel, it's like our immigration stuff. Long as you fill it out right, it's going to get approved. Long as that everything can be traced and then you telling the truth, it ain't no problem. If you're a U.S. citizen, it's no problem. So I don't understand how she turned it in and it didn't get approved. And it's the same thing this year. They're not going to guarantee, they're not going to approve all them applications. They're not even telling you how they're going to approve them. They just told you if you're selected, then they'll notify you.
A fee of 5,000 USD, which is around 500 5,000 Ghana cedis, which is around 5,000 USD. What am I saying?
So upset she can't even think.
500 USD. Correction. 5,000 Ghana cedis to 500, which is around 500 USD last year. Okay. Now following me? You guys following me? We contribute every day to the community here. I'm living here permanently for 2 years. I extend. I paid fees.
Yeah, she did.
I'm contributing to employment.
Yep.
Contributing to the communities, giving donations, everything.
Being overcharged and everything.
Yet still.
No, it ain't enough.
We don't have good roads. They came in here harassing me the other day about poles and lights in the community. People think, they say if you go as a community, they're supposed to get poles and lights. But when they see you as a diaspora, you think you're going to get that free?
No.
in this community here.
No, you're not going to get it free. You're going to get it for the overcharge. You're not going to even get it for the hookup. You're going to get it for the overcharge.
Trying to get me to pay for polls, and
because they think she's done,
and it ain't cheap.
Kenza, you have made yourself appear like a fool for 2 years, almost 3 years since you've been there. Everybody can look at this relationship with you and Super Shorty and see it for what it is. Okay, you've been overcharged, and you know you're overcharged. You think other people don't know that? You think they haven't spread that around, that they can overcharge you? You don't think so, Kenza? That's why you should have. Let me just play this video.
No way. That's why I choose the solar route. Because us as Americans coming back and developing and having communities, I know it's a trade-off. We want the peace. We want our own blah, 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 blah. But to kill us in the process, we wasn't the one choose to go across the ocean, our ancestors. No. Okay, no.
Exactly. And I don't never hear her talk about ancestors and going, none of that stuff. No, we didn't choose to go, but you chose to go back here. You're choosing now. Now you're choosing to go back and put yourself in that same situation. Now you're choosing to do that because you people have been warned. This Asebu village stuff, this Pan-African villages, freelance stuff, this stuff has been in dispute since 2021. This is nothing new. I looked on O'Shea's channel, King Gonda. He got stories about this 2-3 years ago. This information is out there. You don't want to know it. You don't want to know. So you put yourself in the lion's den, and then you wonder what happened. When you put yourself in there, she put herself in there. Kenza put herself in there. Although now I'm telling you, ES said it was a spell. They created a spell and they put a spell out for the people. Anybody who was interested in Ghana, you was going to be hooked and you was going to spend everything you got. So she probably is under that spell because she knows, Kenza knows things aren't right. But it's like she doubt herself, like they've gaslit her. You know, somebody who's gaslit so much that they start to doubt what they know is true. That's Kenza.
We coming back. You invite us back.
Ghana has made her crazy.
No. To get citizenship, to get residency, we have to pay. Most of the people like don't use that one in fear.
Well, we gotta pay. Now, come on, we gotta pay. For me to get my husband here, I gotta pay. I gotta pay almost $1,000. I gotta pay. So that's nothing wrong with the fact that you have to pay, but the fact that they're exploiting the pay, that is the issue. What they're doing to the pay, the amount they're charging is the issue. The huge fees. That's the issue. The exploitation. That's what did I tell you? They exploit in Ghana. They come over here. What they do over here? Exploit over here. That's why they got to shut down. The whole state done exploited this system so much, it done shut it down. Just like the dang on child care. They done exploited the child care system so daggone much, they done shut the child care system down. That's a daggone shame that you go to people's house and disrespect their house like that because they're nice and they have services. So if they go to our house and do that, Kenza, what you think they're gonna do to you in their house?
That's for the feed. Just dip it in the water. So I don't know where to begin. So I don't know where to end. It's just something that is mind blowing these days with this citizenship requirement list that came out yesterday. Yeah, you go water all of them. Yeah, so
what would it feel like to wake up on your terms?
This is just really disturbing to me, y'all. Really.
Where was I?
I'm serious. This is just really disturbing to my soul. You know, we just gonna exploit the whole system. We just gonna exploit the whole system. We're gonna exploit you here while you in Africa. And because when we go there, we get exploited. We get exploited. And then if I'm lucky enough, if I'm blessed enough to get to America where I can get some benefits, I'm going to exploit that system. I'm going to exploit that system too. Well, what? Are you serious? It need to be on pause. He need to pause the system. He need to put the whole thing on pause.
Hold on. Yeah, so most of the people that are coming back are retirees and a fixed income. Why they don't understand what a fixed income is? Do they have any, understanding how retirement systems work? You work all this like this time, struggling the state, pay into the system to live off your little retirement, right?
Mm-hmm.
They think the government is just giving us money to come back and live on retirement.
And they don't take it.
And so forth, the little income that we have. So why would they try to abuse that? I think it's abuse because they don't want to fix lights. What are they doing with all our money? Inviting all these people and charging all this money. I know Ghanaians are going to get on me, but listen, fair is fair. Every day we go out there, we get hustled. Every day we bring in money to the community. When is enough is enough?
Exactly.
My understanding, there's other African countries.
That's why I don't see how they could live there, because I can't take it. I'm telling you now, I got to stay longer when I go. And I'm like, oh, Lord, that means I got to stay longer because I can't take it. So that means I'm going to stay in the house even more. Yeah, I'm staying in the house even more because I'm not going out there and be bothered with that. Because that exploitation it just make you mad. It just make you so angry. You just be like, really? You really gonna just do all that? You just really gonna charge me up like that? You just really gonna look at me and think, okay, you with her, so this your wife, so let me just make the price 10 times higher. You get tired of that. And that's the reality for us over there. Every day you got to deal with the exploitation. Or either if you don't stay in the house and let him go by himself to handle the business. But like they said, they can tell by his clothes. They can tell by the cologne. You around somebody from America. You got some dollars. So they try to charge him up too.
That are offering citizenship that are not this costly. Why is Ghana doing this?
Because they can.
They're getting too big. They don't want us in the country anymore.
What? Listen to her. Poor thing. Why are they doing this? Are they getting too big? They don't want us in the country. They never wanted you there, ma'am. They never wanted you there, Kenza. They didn't tell you to come there and live. That's why they said Ghanaian descendants. They only want them. And they're not talking about your 8%, and they're not talking about my 11%. They're talking about those who have like 90%. I bet you they go by the percentage too when they do their little thing, because this is for Ghanaians who are born in the diaspora to go back. Not us, not you, not me. Come back and visit. Yeah, come back and visit. Like you go to your grandma's house, go pay your respects and visit, but no time are you supposed to set up shop there and then gonna tell these people you got to build your infrastructure. You supposed to have, if they haven't done it for their people, you think they're gonna do it for you? You think they're gonna do it for our people? So we just go over there and complain and make ourselves sitting ducks, just like we learned last night about Veronica and Kimberly, Dr. Stowe. Infrastructure. Do you know that infrastructure is nothing? It ain't been nothing. They don't fix it. If they don't fix it for their own people, you think you complaining is going to make them fix it? No, they don't want you there. No, they want your money. They said invest, Kenza. They didn't say live. They didn't say come live here. They said come invest. That means come spend here. They want to build their country for their people. Where their people gonna go? If we go over there and buy up all the land and build up all the houses because we got dollars and our money more than their money, that's why they broke y'all money down like that. They smacked y'all in the face. Smacked y'all in the face. Broke the dollar down to nothing. 9 CDs. It's trading 9 CDs. Are you serious? That should have told y'all right there. They don't want you there. They done got enough money from y'all. Now y'all in the way. Get out. Now y'all giving these grannies, y'all giving us a bad reputation. Keep talking about us. Y'all need to go. Y'all making us look bad. We just want the money, honey, and we want it quietly. We want you to give us the money quietly. Kids are complaining like they care.
I don't understand. If anybody from the U.S. government is watching this video, help me to understand where these fees from citizenship goes to. Where is this money allocated? Is it money to improve on your tourism system, to bring money into your country?
This is the thing that pisses them off. This pisses them off because they're looking at her like, who are you to ask us what we do with our money? You're not even from here. You're not a citizen. We let you come here. You're on a permit and you dare to stand and sit in our country, sit on our land, on your leased land, and ask us what we do with our money. That ain't your business. That ain't your business. See what I mean? How we get it all twisted up. We get it all twisted up. You think they're going to really explain to you, to the diaspora, what they do with their money? Do they explain it to their citizens? Then why would they explain it to you?
Is it money to approve, to improve on your roads? Because these roads are tearing up my car every day. I'm paying people every day.
You know what the money is for?
There's no policing. Is it to improve your security and your policing system?
You know what the money's for.
The money from the citizenship that you collecting, is it allocated to something? Help us to understand before I go and I pay 2,500 CDs to just be in a country that continue to take and never do any improvement. We need improvement. We need development.
You have no rights in this country. You have no right to sit there and demand nothing from this country. None whatsoever. Only right you have is to pack up your stuff and leave. Think about that, y'all. Think about that. Because you was the boo-boo, the fool. You fell in love with a small boy that you met on Facebook. And you decided you're going to go there and you're going to take everything you got and invest it in this house thinking you and him going to live happily ever after. Then once you get there, you realize not only is he playing me, but everybody around me is playing me, even the government. But you still want to put demands on their government. You still want to sit up in their house and tell them what they need to do for you. How does that even, how do people fix them? I could never do that. This is another Veronica. Unfortunately, this is another Veronica. You want, and Anja, you want to sit in these people's country and tell them what they need to do for you. That's why I leave, honey. I know they're not going to do it. Yeah, they need to have better roads. Yeah, you need to have lights. That's why I'm like, it's time out for Africa. Y'all playing too much. I've been coming here too long and y'all still got bad roads. Y'all still got unstable electricity. You ain't trying to do the right thing. All you trying to do is take my money. That's all you trying to do. Because every time I go, it's more and more and more and more. But I'm not getting more services. It's the same old thing. So you know what I do, Kenza? I leave. I get on YouTube, I talk trash to y'all, then I leave. I be daggone if I'm going to sit in their house and talk trash about them and put demands on them so they could come knock on my door. Huh. Girl, you don't know who you dealing with. You better keep your mouth closed.
In this country. So if you're going to take that kind of money, tell us where the money is going.
They don't have to tell you anything. You are not a citizen of that country. They owe you nothing. They were nice enough to give you a permanent residency. That's all they need to give you. Don't y'all get that? Don't y'all get that? This is that American thinking. You ain't in America. You in Ghana. They're going to do what they want to do when they want to do it. And you see they just did it. Now you mad because you done spent your money on Super Shorty, on your small boy, and you can't pay this absorbent fees to try to be a citizen again.
Put out a list of things you have to have DNA and all that. That's all fine. You in couple days by the 16th of February, how you gonna get to? And
it ain't the 16th of February. It is the 6th. It is Friday. You have from Monday to Friday to do all of this. She don't even know.
You know, the price is not even including the 2 police report. And I ain't give you the guys the price yet. But when you guys hear this price, it's unbelievable. 2 police report, 1 from Ghana. So we have to pay for police report from Ghana, pay for police report from the US, have DNA evidence that ties to Ghana, not Africa. So that meaning every African could come in this country, okay? That's what they're trying to say. And get citizenship. They could come in the country on the ECOWAS passport, but they can't get citizenship here in Ghana.
No, lady, no, because Ghana needs to save its land for its people. Don't you get it? It's a country, okay? It's a country. It's a sovereign nation. They have their own people. They got to look out for their own. And they've showed you, if we got to play you Americans in the process, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. They're not going to sell us all of their land. They're not going to give us everything they have just because you got some change and you want to buy it up and leave them with nothing and have them working for you like you got Emma and all Super Shorty's family and friends being your employees.
Because if they don't have the ties to DNA, and I think that's targeted to a certain group. So what is that telling me? Oh, God.
It's telling you that Ghana is for Ghanaians, period. That's who it's for. Ghana is for Ghanaians. Because I'm like, well, why do you have to have, why do you need Ghanaian descent if it's part of this Pan-African Back to Africa movement? And then I'm like, oh, it ain't part of that. Then I was told, no, it ain't part of that. This is because they want their own people to come back. And I'm like, why would their own people need to fill this out? And then I'm like, oh, some of them are born here, like my friend. No, she wasn't born here. I take that back. She wasn't born here, but she came when she was little. So she's been here all her life. So her to go back, yeah, they might want her to go back because she's Ghanaian and she's been here, and yeah. So maybe they're talking about them. But you people, girl, bye. This is all money.
God.
And then you don't even know how many they're going to approve. You don't know if they're going to approve your application. You don't know any of that. Look how worried she looked because she knows she done played herself. Poor thing done played herself.
So DNA testing takes months.
Sure does.
If you don't have one, I'm fortunate to have one on Ancestry.com, which give me, where does that put me in the category of ties to Ghana? 8%.
8% nowhere.
So with my 8%.
That puts her nowhere because I guarantee you they're probably ranking it by the percentage Not you just have to have some, because if there's only 2 slots left, and then I have a Ghanaian with 2%, 8%, and I got a Ghanaian with 90%, who you think they're going to pick? The one with 90%.
Then I'm still having ties to Ghana, right? Okay. So, anyway, this is a blow to the African diaspora community who is trying to relocate back to Ghana. It's a blow because you have people here who are just building as they go, living in unbuilt structures and retirement salaries. Some people are not.
See, and according to the DY farm lady, that ain't how you supposed to do it. If you can't do it the right way, don't do it at all. Half-built, because she living in half-built structure. She talking about herself. She talking about herself. She living like that. She gave up that beautiful home to go to Ghana and live like that. And then she want to blame Ghana. She mad because they ain't got, she want to question them about their roads and their infrastructure. When you did that, you walked away from everything.
I mean, that's not the government's fault. Maybe they're trying to detour these people, like America trying to detour some of the immigrants from coming in. But the price that they're asking is like first world country price, even more than for some first world country for citizenship. Ghana is not a first world country. Ghana is a developing country. So if you're going...
Yeah, that citizenship thing, that's actually more than what we pay. She's right about there. It is. It's more than what I pay. And I think the spousal visa is the most expensive one. I think it went up to 7 something. I can't remember if it's $6.95 or 7 something. But I think that's the most expensive one. So she's right. That's more than our visa.
Charge these prices for citizenship. We need to have some more development in the country as far as roads in our communities that we build in, and lights in our communities that we build in. Are we going to have first preference to polls from ECG? No, put ECGs around harassing people, collecting money and putting in their pockets. I'm going to call it like it is: corruption, 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 corruption. So
she thinks she really just did something. I'm going to call it like it is: corruption. But you knew it was that. And when we were saying it was that, when we were saying you were being taken advantage of, when we were saying you were being used and abused, when we were pointing all that out, I was a hater. I was a liar. I was jealous. But now they telling you we need almost $2,500 from you if you want to be a citizen, if you want to play this game. Now you want to call them corrupt? Oh, it's been a corrupt game the whole time, girl. It's been a corrupt game the whole time. Just because you wasn't paying attention. This has been going on for a long time.
I'm about to show you something that makes me furious every time.
For a long time. A long, long time she's been doing this.
People gonna come at me. I know that. People gonna come at me, but guess what? You don't want me in your country.
Yeah.
And let me know up front, so I could probably go to another African country.
They have let you know, Kenza. They have let you know. They've let you know with all the scamming they do to your face. They let you know with all the overcharging they do to your face. Every time I watch, Kenza, they're letting you know. Every time EMA spray your plants and kill your plants. Every time they ignore everything you say, like you're not even talking to them, they're letting you know. They've let you know so many times that they could care less about what you're talking about. All they care about is that money, and you keep spending it willingly. And it's that same attitude, that same gimme, 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 exploit, 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 that when you get here, if you're lucky enough to get here, that you do that same thing here. That same thing here. And it's been done so much that they've paused the immigrant visa, the spousal immigrant visa, which is unbelievable. That's your next of kin. For them not to let your next of kin here, it's got to be bad. This exploitation is got, and then because you're taking advantage of the public system, that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. So that same exploitive thinking, that same exploiting behavior has got us all messed up.
That will accept us well there. I said I wasn't going to get too deep in this, but anyway, the fees. Now let's get to the fees. The fees that came out yesterday from the African Diaspora Affairs Ministry, Interior Affairs Office, from the Interior Affairs, not the African Diaspora, I'm combining two. The Interior Affairs Office. I don't have no notes, so if I don't have it correct, mind me. I'm doing this like I always do. Freehand, I don't, I'm just going from what my little brain could remember, and my memory is not good. So bear with me if I don't have it correct.
Yeah, she don't need to be over there
and do
talking
your
trash.
own research.
She needs to come home.
I'm just here speaking as I go. Full disclaimer. I'm just talking because it's on my mind. It's on my mind since yesterday. I'm sure they're going to add all these people on the list.
Yeah.
Because I just did a little calculation, and if they collect now the application fee to just show interest is 1,005 Ghana cedis, which is approximately.
Going too slow. We already talked about that.
Plus game. So if they don't have African descent, let's see if this color skin is going to be in the induction.
I'm sure they are.
Then, not to say we just paid membership. Well, I didn't pay yet. People paid.
Now this was messed up. These little gatekeeping organizations over there, they charge them membership. And they think because if they're a member of these gatekeeping organizations, that's going to help them get citizenship. Well, guess what? They don't. They told Kenza those organizations mean nothing.
I paid like in June or July, one of those, half the year. So I did pay membership to Caribbean Association because I am Caribbean and I'm American, and African American Association. They were saying the requirements was to be part of these groups. That's how people got in the last time. But let's say they put out, I contact the Office of Diaspora Affairs, they say these organization has nothing to do with the citizen process. You don't have to be no member. That's what they said. Plain out, twice in 2 letters, one in the email and one in WhatsApp.
Yeah. So those membership, those little organizations, they've been paying to be a part of the gatekeeping organizations. Guess what? They don't mean nothing. They're not going to help you get nowhere.
Oh, those who pay those fees to these organizations to get citizenship, sorry, but they're saying they have nothing to do. That's
so they telling them they're going to help them get citizenship, and they're not. The government said they don't have nothing to do with it. Wow.
You see, until I see official email that I am on the list or I'm not the list, and I don't know. I'm just going by what the press release and stuff that came out yesterday and the meetings that I attended. So if 500 people pay that, That's $1.175 million.
Why did she do that? All right, we stopping there. $1.5 million. Do y'all think 500 people are going to pay that? I know 500 people are going to pay that. They're about this day. They're going to make another big lump sum. Yeah, as long as America keeps cutting them those multi-million-dollar checks like they do, many countries that will be in Ghana pocket. Tammy says the data doesn't know. It doesn't. So they come in here exploiting this. They're exploiting us in Africa, and then they come in here exploiting the system when they get here. Wow. And I ain't saying that. The government said that. Donald Trump's administration said that. Yeah, they said we're pausing all the immigration visas because of it. It's so bad. We're pausing daycare because it's so bad. Sherry says Ghana is friendly and God-fearing country on the surface. Dig deeper and you will find the wicked nature. Ghana is an illusion of inclusion. African Goddess says, okay, but I'm surprised. Did not think USA benefit system was that generous compared to the UK. Girl, yes. Especially if you got kids. If you got kids, no, you get them people getting houses, I don't think they were getting money. They didn't say money so much, but they were getting everything else. Medicaid, food stamps, everything. You can go to the hospital for free. They're going to pay for it. Christina says, right, still get in line. If you have what you have is real, please don't get in line playing games, blocking the real ones. Yeah. Go ahead and fill it out. But, you can talk to an attorney. What happens when the New World Order is rolled out for the ones that are awake? Cashless society, etc. It's already like a cashless society, JJ. How will you pay for ongoing residence? Thank you. They're right. How are you going to get your money? Because their money still comes through an ATM card. They got to go to the bank to get their money. Most of our banks will not deposit into their banks over there. It's only certain banks that they will. They are all called anchor babies, honey. Team member says, American Freedman says, if it is legitimate fraud, the feds could investigate both the immigrant and her spouse. I'm just saying for suspected fraud. Exactly, and I'm sure they will. If they suspect, but they checking this out. If they done all that and they done paused immigration, they know exactly what's going on. And they done traced it back to that final step at the consular's office in and then they did it here too. They stopped the ones here. You can't even adjust the status here. No immigration, no, none of that. You can't do it anymore. No, they paused it because of all this fraudulent behavior, all this taking advantage of the system. Y'all asleep. Girl, listen, tell them. Y'all asleep. Refugees collect Social Security, not welfare. The children get DSHAS and parents get SSI. Huh. What'd I tell y'all? What I tell y'all while we sitting back struggling, looking like fools, like wondering what's going on here? Ain't no more social programs? No, they done sucked them dry. How sad is this? JJ is very sad. Birthright citizenship is a slippery slope. Spellcaster says, Kiki, what is it about Nigeria you love? Oh, I think Nigeria is fun. The people are open. The people are free. You can be yourself. You don't have to pretend. I like how it's lively. It was always lively. It was always something to do. In Lagos, you're never alone unless you want to be alone. You know, you can always go out in your neighborhood. There's always a sports bar you can go to and sit. You don't have, because I don't drink, you know, you can get some kind of fruit punch, meet people and talk. You know, the Nigerian people are what I really liked about Nigeria. They're not Nigeria. They're not mean like that. Nigerian people they're cool people. And I really liked it. I liked how they stood up for, like, if you have an argument with somebody in Nigeria, you just have an argument right then and there on the street. You know, it's not like people going to be looking at you crazy. It's like people have disagreements, and Nigerians know you have disagreements. Sometimes disagreements are loud, sometimes they're not. You're not looked at like you crazy because you're having a disagreement. It's just like, okay, they're having a disagreement. So I like that. I like that you can be yourself there, pretty much. Well, when I was there, I don't know how it is now, but that's what I love about it. I found a lot of my personality traits I've matched with the Nigerians, like how smart they are, their debating skills, you know, just the culture. I saw a lot of, like, in my family, like the roles of men and women. You know, I could, when they said the DNS said most of it was Nigerian, I was like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Even though I didn't want to believe it at first, because I couldn't stand Nigeria for a long time. That's why if you knew me, you'd be like, what? Because people who knew me, who know me, they know I could not stand Nigeria or Nigerians for years. Yeah, so I had to, that's why my ex was like, oh, you're going to be Nigerian when you get that DNA test back. I said, how do you know? He said, because it's usually you despise it or you love it. And that's how you know if it's part of you, because you're going to have strong emotions towards it. And I had strong emotions towards Nigeria and Nigerians. I couldn't stand them or their country. Catholic charities and Lutheran social services have been bringing fake refugees to see taxpayers have been robbed. Thank you. And it's just gotten too much. And now he's probably the first one going to do something about it. Yeah, they get, look, so she ain't lying. Tammy, let me tell you, one time I was at this other school district, right? This lady came in. She had, I think she was some Somali lady. I don't know what she was. Sudanese lady, something like that. She had about 8 kids. And it was during COVID, right? And you know, you was getting extra food stamps during COVID, but you had to fill out your application online. The kids had to fill out you had to fill out the kids' application online. Do you know she forgot to fill out the application? Do you know the woman came into the school and cussed us all out because she couldn't get her food stamps? Yeah, she couldn't get her food stamps. She was furious. She had about 8 kids. I'm like, how much food stamps is she getting? Unbelievable. But you're right. It's a lot. Look, she said they get food stamps, about $2,000, Medicaid benefits, for utilities and everything. I've seen it firsthand. And I have too, honey. I have too. And it's unbelievable. Your mind is blown. You sitting there like, look at this. Look at this. And it's like we supposed to do it. That was the thing that got me. When are we supposed to do this? This is not what we're supposed to do. That's not the purpose of those programs. Oh, I don't know. They didn't say they didn't say they had produced the tables, the data tables. So I don't know where you're getting that from, but they don't know. He says Nigerians received about 35% of public assistance as opposed to Somalis who received about 75%. I don't know. What I was looking on, they said they hadn't released the tables yet. Aliyah says daycare transportation in my state, they'll send single moms to school. Yeah, they was doing a whole bunch of nonsense. Spellcaster says those are lies. Lisa says so true in my state as well. Team member says they don't pay taxes for utilities. That's where you go, where where you are wrong. They don't pay taxes for utilities. What do you mean they don't pay taxes for utilities? If they buy something, they're paying taxes. In this country, you are. Hey, happy New Year to you too, Debbie. Oh, y'all, this is way behind. Los Angeles was paying for rent for 2 years for illegal immigrants. Let me go down here and come back up. Okay. American Freedman says, I want my taxes going to Americans only. Donald Trump is an immigrant, Devon says. Donald is, and I am. Okay, so he's probably saying fascism, London. Hey, London lady, that's what she say. Let me say this. There's no country that you can go to in Europe or places like Mexico, Panama, Costa Rica, and other countries that you can move to that they want to have to take care of you. Coco says. It hasn't changed. It's always been this way. The mask is all the way off. Right, Liz, it's always been this way, but the mask is off now. They just started getting the asylum people flying back so that to their country for a visit after claiming they needed protection from. DY says, you can do you, DD, and you can do your due diligence and have good contracts, but they still lie just to get your money. Yeah, because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. American Freedman says scamming has been going on for a long time before Trump. Under both Republicans to Dem, it seems to have been ignored. Why? Exactly. Why? I don't know. Why don't you want to deal with it? Like the only person I remember like studying in school that dealt with it was Wilson. President Woodrow, was it Wilson? No, it wasn't Woodrow Wilson. I can't even remember. It was a long time ago. You're right. Why are you scared to deal with this? Terry, hi Terry White, how you been? Too many of them are he says too many of them are scammers in their own countries. Then scamming in the US is kind of, yeah, because if you come, you think it is. You think I can scam real easy, but you don't know we'll catch you. The system is going to catch you eventually. It may take time because it wanted to pile up, but this system look easy to scam, but honey, they'll get you. It's just like a kid in a candy store. It's just that now the Trump administration is now catching and stopping them. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I don't mean to yawn. But what time? Oh, it's 6:43. We got to hurry up, y'all. FIFA is adding 10 more qualifiers to the World Cup competition, meaning 10 more countries, which is more money. Christina says they have no clue about that. I've been telling people for years, y'all coming into a sinking ship. 100 million of us paying taxes can't sustain. No, it can't. We can't. We cannot sustain that. No system can sustain that. Wait a minute, y'all. Hold on. I'm sorry, I had to sneeze. London lady said, I'm never going to visit the USA. I was going to come for tennis. However, I have zero interest in visiting and doubt they let me come anyway. Why? I want you to come, London lady. I would want you to come. This person says, the issue is real, but it's all smoke and mirrors. Don't get too caught up in the nonsense. Whatever things they will do, it still won't benefit you. It's a SIT something. I don't know what that means, y'all. London say she's saying hi, London lady. Something about birthright citizenship. I couldn't understand that. Chicago was giving illegal immigrants housing vouchers in the thousands. I told y'all. Somebody did a story about that, about all the illegal immigrants living in public housing now. And that's why you can't get no public housing. Beat it, girl. I'm glad that you love the subject. I'm an important American, LOL. Miss Melanated says Los Angeles, okay, for 2 years they pay rent for 2 years for illegal immigrants. Are you serious? All right, let me go down here. And then I think that's it. Get the ones I missed. But yeah, that's what happened. That's what's going on with the immigration. UK still provided more benefits. Okay. I don't know. I don't know about their social programs. I feel sorry for these women. She deep under a panty smith. Yeah, she is. I feel sorry for her too. But honey, come on. You can't be talking trash. How you gonna be talking trash, girl? And you went over there following this dude, and now you're gonna put all the demands on this country. They could care less about what you're talking about. You sound ridiculous. Yeah, these organizations mean absolutely nothing, but they make you think they mean everything, but they don't. They mean nothing. Super Shorty done got himself a chicken farm along with 2 goats and a 3-story house. He and his family is set for life, and she ain't lying. He is set for life. And he got land out there in that Pots, and he got land too. Wow. She set this man up for life. You don't do that, ladies. Don't do that. Kids are coming back to nothing. Super Shorty set for life. And what he tell that man? It's going to be a day where I'm coming without her. Yep. It's a day I'm coming without her. Kiki, I don't think Kenzo will leave that house in Ghana and she's not. Kenzo ain't gonna leave that house. Nope, she not. She too stubborn for that. She don't care if her sickness take her down. She don't care if she can't walk down them steps. She don't care about none of that. She just feel like she's not about to walk away from all her money she spent. Yes, they are destroying her fruit trees. Yeah, they are. Sister Love, I know they are. Deliberately. They sure are, and the plants for a reason. She is employing them, and they still hate her because they have nothing. Exactly. And they feel like she has a lot, and she's paying them nothing. Yeah. They can't stay. You're absolutely right. They hate her. That you could tell they hate her because the way he's killing all her plants. I mean, it'll be fine one day, then you go back out there, it's dead. Like how he cut down all the lemongrass. I'm like, oh, Kenzie, you better pay attention to the signs. These people don't like you. Kiki, I don't think Kenzie will leave that house. Okay, we saw that one. All right. Yeah, like nearly 4 times more. She might need mental health services when she returns to America. Well, if she returns, yeah, I'm sure she will. I feel her frustration though. I do too. I feel sorry for her. If she wants to ask these questions, why not write to and go instead and putting it in instead of putting it on YouTube? Right. Why don't she write them and ask them? Exactly. Because she really don't want to know. 2 of my brothers were born in Gambia. One lives in Germany, has full citizenship, and the other lives in the UK, also having full citizenship. Both had children and grandchildren. I think this new policy will be the foundation to come and revoke the land that has been leased. I believe that too. That's coming next, honey. That's just coming soon. Voting rights, ability to hold office, etc., etc. Miss, exactly. But may I have a question? In Burkini, what? Put a ban on U.S. citizens from visiting. How is that working with just having residency? I don't know. I was never going there, though. I knew I was never going there. They are not giving away citizenship like they did last year. No, they're not. No, honey, they're not. They're going to be funny about this. You watch. And you see they done gave it to that little boy. They done gave it to all these famous people. They're going to be real. They're going to have more than 500 sign up. They're going to get as many to sign up as they can, and they ain't giving it. They ain't going to give it to a select few. Watch. Sherry says, Kiki, your personality is for a Western man, not an African man who was raised in Africa. Okay, well, thank you. What protection does citizenship offer you? Exactly, nothing. For that reason, Liz says, I pumped my brakes on Burkina Faso for that reason. No citizenship, no large-scale investment from me. Roll on with my bags and roll on periodically as a resident. That's right. Just go visit. African countries showing more and more Negroes were here before slavery. Kiki, you are highly intelligent. However, an African husband is... Kiki, you are highly intelligent. However, that African husband is playing you. So sad. You can't see it. How is he playing me? You don't even know the man. Lord. Playing me for what? What are you playing me for, though? He's playing me. How? I'm interested to hear that. Tell me how he's hiding. How do you know? Do you know it? They don't owe you anything. It's called an IQ tax. You buy bottled water in the U.S., you pay taxes, and you pay utilities. It's all the same. Kinza got nerve asking the Ghanaian government, what are they doing with the money? Right, that she gave them. They getting ready to run your ASS right to your own country. Yeah, they sure are, girl. How dare you? How dare you? O'Shea was right. Don't buy, lease land, or build unless you are a citizen. I see it now. Yes, he's right. She wants accountability. It's nearly a lawless land. Don't hold your breath. Yeah, she's crazy. Ain't nobody answering them questions. Kinza needs to take her ASS back to the Caribbean. She sure do. She wants no taxation without representation in a third world country. More money, less improvement. Kiki, thank you for this conversation. You are correct. You have good insight. Oh, thank you, Sister Love. I'm surprised she hasn't realized she really has no rights. Gigi, girl, she ain't trying to realize that. Inez is pimping too. Went to Ghana for that. Broke, now begging us to take care of her. Hey, Maya, where you been? Not a small boy. No, honey, a small boy. Oh, some folks went there in the comments. They told her it's the law. Shaking my head, okay. Why Caribbean people always want U.S. government to help them in Africa? Ghanaians rob their own family members too. Tammy says Ghana can and will continue to do it. They could care less. They sure do. They care less. Some Africans are cruel, cruel con artists, and the dream is over. Yep. Kinza has to have regrets. Honey, I know she do, Tammy. Okay. Like Inez Finley said, pimping the diaspora. It's the exploiting, Tammy. Yeah, they just exploiting. Sherry says, young Ghanaian boys always tell the community about how he has sex with foreigners. Sherry, what are you talking about? Virgin Islands. Thank you. Okay, she's a Caribbean American from the Virgin Islands. Yeah, that's why she talked like that. But I still believe she talked like that because she got a speech impediment. She needs some help. No, she's not an FBA. She's not American, but she keep saying she Black American, but she ain't. She's not an American with that accent. See, that's why she needs to quit saying that. She needs to say where she from and quit playing. I'm gonna call mine back refund. Okay. Let's go down here. All that contributing, and it means nothing. That's what's messed up. All that contributing, and it meant nothing in the end. All right, Sister Love says, they made a killing for the year of their return. Now they are looking to make another killing with the citizenship crap. Exactly. Let's just milk it as long as we can milk it, because they know it's about to be over. You see what I mean? The run is about to be over. Just bragging rights, telling immigrants in the U.S. I have citizenship in Africa is a big flex for them, on them. While she was flossing in China, she should have been saving money. Edra, you are so right. While she was, see, they use symbolism to say leave. Yep. Alive, or they will unalive her. Yep. Sherry, oh Lord, Sherry, here you go. Heavy pedal time. What's up with you? I should have gotten rid of my identity and pretended to be an illegal immigrant. So I could have got some free help from these sanctuary cities. I know, honey, I should have too. Honey, you could have got everything. They was getting nice cars. I would go to Walmart. That's why I quit going to Walmart. It was unbelievable. And they all had these nice cars. I'm like, wow, everybody's got nice cars now. And then I see the people getting out the cars. I'm like, what? I'm making me think they're getting vouchers for cars. All right. All right, y'all. I think that's it. Okay, I think we might be done for the night. Kiki, please don't block me, but I have to ask this. Do Nigerians have a musty smell in Nigeria? Well, let's put it like this. It depends on who they are. So the ones who live in the city, in the urban areas, and, who kind of work in the city, because in Lagos, they're around a lot of, there's like international businesses there. So they are more modern, and they use deodorant, and they you don't smell it so much. But if you're with like lower income people, or like if you're in the village, or, a less urban area, then you smell it more. But you do smell it in the urban area also, but it depends on the person. That's mainly about class. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them don't use deodorant. They'll wash, but they won't use deodorant, and some of them don't wash. So did I smell it? Yes, I smelled it on some people, but not all people. And usually the places I would go, because remember, I was an American, so I was going to different places. I was going to more touristy places. So no, they're there. When you're there, you don't smell it like that there. I met Nigerians here in the U.S., but I met their odor first. Yeah, they probably came from the village. A lot of these people come from the village, because you got to remember, the Africans who have lives and careers, they're not breaking the door trying to get over here. They're not kicking the door down trying to get over here. Okay, the ones we meet here, those are poor representations of Africans. They really are. They really, really are. The real Africans, the ones that are really, the real Africans, they're over there because they have lives over there. Like we have lives over here. Okay. Here are two refugee SUVs. Good night, brown skin. You're welcome, American Freedman. And Sherry says, oh, here she go, y'all. What, Sherry? Kiki, African men are not taught to love women in the Western way. African men love their mothers, sisters, and daughters, and wives as a servant and as a childbearer. Okay, Sherry, thank you for that. Now, and I do agree with you that they're raised in a house where there's not romantic love. You're talking about romantic love, and they were raised in just relationships. You just get relationships for a purpose, and you have kids. I know what you mean. And it's just no love and this, that, and the third. But if you go with someone who's a little more educated and who's been around people from different countries and been to different countries, they're not like that. So you got to open your mindset. Okay, there's a different class of African men, and it seems like you guys don't deal with that class of African man. And that's when you run into all these problems, because this type of African man I would never talk to, and you're right, he would never talk to me. Never. He would never speak to me. He wouldn't even look my way. So our paths may cross, but we would never get together, because we know we are not going to jive. So if I have to be with somebody who's just as intelligent as I am, and most people who are at that level have traveled, they're educated, you know what I mean? And that person uses deodorant, that person bathes, that person has a job, that person has a career, that person has a life. You know what I'm saying? So it's the people I talk to are just a little bit different. All right, I hope that answers your question, Sherry. Doesn't the Bible say a wife is a servant and a childbearer? Team member, it's 3 hours. You know what happens after 3 hours. You know the rules to the community. I'm too exhausted to even answer that question, team member. But I'm glad you're on here, and I'm glad you're here, and I'm glad we've been here for this long together with you guys. Oh, honey, you know I love myself. And that's what my one African friend told me that African men love about you. She said, you know what? It's not that you're the prettiest girl in the world. You know what it is about you? She said, it's your confidence. She said, you can spot your confidence a mile away. And she said, African men love a confident woman because African women are not confident. And she said, you exude confidence. And that's what they love about you. And you look like an African. You're confident, but you look like an African. And they like that. So I love myself. That's why it says Kiki loves Nigeria. Because what I say, Nigeria is me, and I love myself. Kiki, what is your next live going to be about? Next live is going to be about, if it don't change, because y'all know things will change, we're going back to talk about the land scamming in Ghana. We're going to talk about Asebu Village. I'm going to give y'all the history of that land scam to prove to y'all that they've been knowing of that this land was in dispute since 2021. And they've been continuing to sell us this land anyway. So we're going to go back to talk about that. Unless something changes, unless I get some breaking news. If I get some breaking news, then I'm going to have to switch it up. I love you too, London lady. Oh, thank you, Sherry. She said, that's a lie. You are gorgeous. Oh, thank you, sweetie. You are too. As always, you have a great program. Oh, thank you, Sister Love. We appreciate you educating us. Thanks. Thank you guys for watching. It's Yanti says, hey, Yanti, she says, it's a lot of Africans in Miami. Speed, money, and listen, y'all. Listen. I can't even get it out. Yanti says, it's a lot of Africans in Miami. Spend money and smell good. Honey, they don't know about them. No, they don't know about them kind. No, those are the ones yes. There's levels to the African man game. And all too often we play down in the lower levels. You can't play in the lower levels. You got to play in the major leagues. And you're not smelling nothing in the major leagues but cologne. And you getting good. Oh, let me stop right there. The realist says, good night, Kiki. Good night. London lady says, not another village. Oh, please. Anything in the world Not another village scam. Okay, you don't want to talk about that? London lady, what you want to talk about? Y'all don't want to hear about the village scams no more? Y'all don't want to hear that? Y'all want to move to something else? Y'all done talking about that? Y'all don't want to hear about that? Then tell me what y'all want to talk about. Next week's show, yet another scam village. All right, then what? London lady, tell me what y'all want to talk about. Oh, thank you for joining me, DIY Home and Garden. I feel so lucky you came on here because I was just watching you and your husband today. Watching your video, you eating them marshmallows. I was like, oh my God, that marshmallow looks so good. And I don't know what that was you was drinking. I don't know if it was coffee or hot chocolate, but girl, I was all in the cup, pretending like I was tasting it as you was drinking it. I was eating the marshmallow as you was eating it and drinking that whatever you was drinking. And it was nice. So thank you for coming on here. I feel truly honored. Tell your husband I said hello, and I'll be watching y'all. I like y'all little farm. Like they got a whole setup, y'all. They got, like they were saying, you ain't got to go to Africa to have chickens. You ain't got to go to Africa to own land. They got all of that here. You ain't got to go to Africa to have a house. They did all of that here. And we can too. We can too. Just go watch their channel, y'all. Go watch their channel, DIY Home and Garden. And you're going to be surprised. Because I was like, wow. Wow. And that watching them was what's giving me the ideal about we can develop our own city. We can develop our own community here. And then there was a leader here in Dayton who, there was a leader here in Dayton. Oh, I don't like that picture, y'all. Let me go past this person. There was a leader here in Dayton, and he was talking about the way you renovate your city is you go block by block. So you restore one block at a time, one block at a time. You go in and you take one block at a time. Don't forget about our meeting on Saturday. I'm going to put a flyer out about that. But that's what you do. You renovate one block at a time. And we can do that here. We can have chickens, farms, gardens. What Kenza do there, we can easily do that here because the DIY farm and garden people do. They got all of that. They got a nice house. And they get to see their kids and their grandkids. And they can go to Ghana anytime they want to. So it's not this dualistic view, it's got to be one or the other. No, we can have both. That's the great thing about being an American. We can make the money where we can have both. We don't have to exploit everywhere we go. All right, London lady, what do you want to talk about? All right, London lady, we ain't talking about the village. I'm taking it off, y'all. She don't want to talk about that. I gotta find something else. We can't. No, she ain't feeling it, y'all. No. London lady said we done talked about the village too much. We don't want to hear it no more. Okay. Oh, she said it was coffee. Yeah, I know. I heard y'all saying you own a coffee shop, but I bet it was so good. It looked so good. The way you was drinking it out that cup, girl, and that way you was eating that marshmallow. And y'all, the marshmallows was huge, and they was roasting them, and I was like, oh, Lord, I wish I was right there. It looks so good. Okay. Sister Love says, you are a beautiful sister and very, thank you, Sister Love. You so sweet. This person says, the Ish people in North Africa are noted on the highest participants in the welfare system, and the U.S. popping children right, left and right. In the U.S. pop, I don't even know if they was on there. I think they was on there too, though. They was on there too. Trust me, they own it. It's 75 countries on there, honey, and most of them is in Africa and those Afghani countries. I don't even know if it's the Afghani countries. I take that back, but I know most of them countries was in Africa, so they probably was on there too. Sherry says, talk about building in the U.S. and survivor skills. Oh, y'all want to talk about that village? this what I was telling y'all about the community thing. So y'all want me just to talk about it instead of doing a meeting about it. Y'all want me just to talk about that Saturday and break it down. I live in Miami. I have met many Africans that smell good with deep pockets. Honey, right. Poor thing. Yes, we can create our own. Yeah, we can. We can do that here. And they would appreciate that. Our government would appreciate that so much. So much. Because like I told y'all, they don't know how to fix our problems. They look to us to fix our problems. And if the people like us are running to Africa and invest in everything we got over there, who's going to fix our problems? Nobody. Wait a minute, I got to cough again. He says, talk about the reality versus the fantasy in Africa. Tyreek versus Speed trips to Africa. Speed is a little kid. I don't know nothing about that little boy. I don't watch little kids. Now, Tyreek, I'll watch him and talk about him. But the little boy, no. That little boy is a kid. I don't talk about kids. I want to hear about it. You want to hear about what, London lady? But it's just the fact that all the scammers named their projects Village. Because remember, it takes a village. So she says she do want to hear about it, y'all. She want to hear about the scam. Okay, thank God. Good night, Tammy. Okay, y'all. So London lady has agreed we can talk about the Asebu Pan-African Village. Okay. Okay, now, if y'all want to talk about something else, y'all put it in the comment section. If y'all tired of hearing about the Ghana land scammers, put it down there. Say, no, I'm tired of hearing about it. And tell me what y'all want to hear about, okay? Please, Sherry. Thank you, Sherry. She said Kiki is a high-class lady. Reinvent says vacation nomads versus repats, expats. Okay, y'all put it down there. All right, if y'all don't want to hear about the Asebu Village and the history of this land scam and how long it's been going on and that they've known about it, but they continue to sell us this land. All right, y'all, that is all I have. Vacationers and nomads go home. Yep, and that's all around. They're saying the same thing. All right, y'all, thank you for coming out tonight. We've been on here for a long time. Thank you for coming out at the last minute. And this exploitive behavior, it has to cease. It has to stop because it's got us messed up on both ends. Right now, the conclusion is a U.S. citizen married to a West African spouse may be blocked out of the consular's office for we don't know how long this is going to take. Meanwhile, people in Ghana, on the pathway to citizenship, now it requires DNA, legal residency proof, police clearances, and tens and thousands of CDs and fees. So this is what we got to face, and this is what we're going through. Because people want to exploit. Not only do they want to exploit us in their country, they want to exploit when they come here. And now look what happened. Immigration has been paused. And citizenship in Ghana has been turned into something we never thought we'd see coming. Land scamming. Oh, yeah, y'all, please hit the like button and please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Did ES tour Asebu Village when she escaped the farm? I don't know. A lot of them go there. Mullen tea will clear the mucus from your, you know what it is, Sherry? I was drinking, I either ate something. Oh, I fried some bread, y'all. And I put sour cream in it. That's what happened. That was the dairy. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming out. And we will talk again this week. All right. Y'all be good. I'll talk to y'all later. I love y'all.